Hope you're off to a good start to the week, and I hope you had a great weekend. Look, we got a whole bunch of sales to ship out, so this is going to be a working live. I'm going to show you every single thing that I sold on eBay, Poshmark, and chris@peak.com. Pretty solid weekend overall for sales, and July has just been shaping up really nicely, so I'm grateful for that. And grateful for nice weather this weekend. Able to get outside. Kim and I went on a hike Saturday we went on a hike, and yesterday we went up to Black Mountain and ate dinner at one of our favorite little spots there. So welcome in, everybody. It was a good weekend, and a good weekend of sales. So I like that combination. Good sales, good weekend, all beautiful things. All right. Well, welcome in. We're going to jump right into this. First, I'm going to need you to be the boss for just a moment. Let me know, what are we going to ship first? Are we going to ship eBay, Poshmark, or chris@peak.com? Just let me know down below in the chat, and that's what we'll get started with. Good weekend of sales. I'm happy with it. July's been really cranking right along, so we'll see. Hopefully we finish this month off. What do we got? 4 days left. I guess 5 days, including 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 5 days, including today, left in the month, so 4.5. So hopefully finishing the month strong. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're well. If you haven't said hello down below in the chat, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how your weekend was. And I need somebody to be the boss. Adam says Poshmark. You got it, Adam. Elliot right behind says Poshmark as well. So I guess that's the deal. And actually, Poshmark outsold eBay this weekend. I don't know what those exact numbers are, but it's like a full bin to a half a bin. Poshmark beat eBay. So let's kick things right off. This is a great place to be if you're new to reselling or old to reselling or just love talking shop. So drop your questions down below in the chat. I love hearing about your sales. What are you seeing on your end? What kind of things are selling? What kind of things aren't? Love all that stuff. Just love the conversation. I love talking shop. We've been doing this live now for years. We've done, I think, probably more than 1,000 of these lives, just good, honest glimpses into our business on a Monday afternoon, showing you exactly what sold, exactly how much profit I'll make from these items, how long they took to sell, trying to be as authentic, honest, and straightforward as possible so that you can maybe learn something, or you just like being here talking shop too. Colby, hope you had a great weekend. I had 7 sales this weekend as well. It was a little slower than last weekend, but it was still all right. That sounds like a good weekend to me, brother. Hope you had some fun stuff this weekend as well. 7 sales is great. Absolute Finds is in the house. You're here. Welcome in. Good to have you. So Poshmark first. We'll start it off. I'm just going to go in order or whatever these shipping labels are in this stack. First order is actually a really good one. You can see this right here. Gore-Tex pack light right there. And this is on a Mountain Hardware. I guess I can unfold them since they're not in the bag. Mountain Hardware tag right here. So great outdoor brand right here. And obviously, this is not like a casual pair of pants. This is like a hiking rain pants. So that Gore-Tex pack light is always something to look for on a lot of different brands, but especially on a good brand like Mountain Hardware is a good grab right here. This sold for a best offer. Wait for it. $65. So I paid $5 for these at a thrift. And a $65 sale on here. So Poshmark's going to keep 20%. So 20% of 65. That means they're keeping $13. So they're going to pay me out $52. And I paid $5 for this. So that means I'm going to make $47 in profit on this pair of Gore-Tex pants. I had them priced a little high, like $79. Went back and forth with this customer. Happy with 65. I only paid $5. I think their first offer was like $50. So got them up to 65. I'm happy with that. This would probably be like $150 pair of pants, brand new, with that Gore-Tex pack light. So the customer's getting a good deal here too. Welcome in, everybody. Just got back from vacation, weekend on the lake. Got some thrifting to do. That's awesome. Hope you had a nice weekend on the lake. Glad I'm watching you live. Been talking reselling more serious. I've been taking reselling more serious now that I've realized clothes are profitable, never considered outside of sports cards. That's interesting. So are you also selling sports cards too? How's that market going right now? I used to play with the sports card thing back like when everything was hot with the sports cards back in like 2020, 2021, but I haven't really been playing that game for quite some time. What's up, Joe? 37 sales on vacation. That's awesome. That's all. Making money while you got your feet up at the lake. I like it. What's up, Trish? Want to challenge me to a taco eating contest? It wouldn't be a fair fight, Trish. It wouldn't be a fair fight. Come on now. You got it. Okay, yes, gotcha. Sports cards too. Anna, I want to thank you. Thanks for your videos. I'm learning from you how to price and title my items. Saturday, I was given 2 men's pants, a vintage Wrangler, the 13 MWZs with the W on the pockets. Nice, nice. I usually sell those around like $25, $27. So nice grab on those, or somebody gave those to you. That's awesome. I love it. Good afternoon, Swiss. Good to hear July is doing well. My sales have been down from June, but found Boss, Lulu, Hickey Freeman, Smoky Joe's, and Public Rec amongst others yesterday. Great 120 pickup day. I like it, Swiss. Little good luck on the Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome in. If you haven't said hello, I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's ship out these Mountain Hardwares here. Kick it off with a nice profit. Y'all, we got some really, really good sales today. It's funny. Poshmark outsold eBay by a pretty good margin. So good weekend overall. Yesterday was $1,000 sales day. 19 items out the door for over $1,000. That makes it the best day of July so far. But man, we've had some crazy sales days. I had a 19 sales day last week. I had a 17 sale day last week, and then another 19 yesterday. So it's been a little busier than I thought it was going to be this past week. And I'm certainly not complaining about that. But really good sales today, too. We got some high profit items. I should have teased this at the very beginning. I got a $200 plus sale going out the door today, too. So just really grateful for an awesome weekend, especially yesterday. Saturday was a little slow-ish. Friday was great. Saturday a little slow-ish. And then yesterday was just gangbusters. I was like, oh, man. I told Kim yesterday when we were out for dinner, I'm like, it's kind of been a slowish weekend. Like, it's been a really good week, but this weekend's been a little slow. But then the sales just kept on rolling in yesterday. It just kept happening. I was like, all right, I guess it's going to be an above average sales day. What's an average sales day? Right now, an average day would be for July will be, well, I can give you that number. 11.6 units would be an average sales day. So 19 yesterday is a squarely above average day for sure. I was given a Carhartt helmets to hard hats, BO1 black loose original fit that I know nothing about. Nice. I'm not sure. Carhartt helmets to hard hats. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Not sure what that one is. I'd have to look that one up. Sounds like it's cool though. What's up, JT? Looking forward to your third drop from the trip to DC suburbs. You hit up my neck of the woods in Richmond. Goodwill on Tom Leonard. Your first stop. Yep. It's 5 minutes from me. No way. You're right down the street. That's awesome. Well, thanks for sharing your local thrifts with me for a day. I enjoyed my trip to Richmond. It was fun. Kind of first time I'd ever been to that area. And I kind of enjoyed it. I kind of dug it. But man, we were only there for we were there for 36 hours. So you can only get so much of a feel for a place. But I enjoyed what I saw in that 36 hours. Had a question, Chris. Do you mark a sale on Poshmark individually on items or store-wide or not at all? Had a question, Chris. Do you run a sale? I don't even know if you can run a sale on Poshmark. Maybe, does anybody know that? I adjust my prices using Nifty. So I'll just go into Nifty and I'll change the price. It will change it on all 4 platforms. So just a couple of clicks, I can get eBay, Poshmark, Depop, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and whatnot all down on prices. That's typically what I do, but I'll run sales on eBay sometimes too. I don't think you can do sales on Poshmark unless I'm missing something. What's happening, Moss? Been a decent weekend. Enjoyed the DC videos. Question: do you always relist even if items have watchers? It's all automatically happens. So Depop, or sorry, why do I keep bringing up Depop today? What's on my mind? Nifty will automatically at 30 days delist and relist all my items on eBay. So I don't even know if they have watchers. I don't look at watches. I don't look at views. I just don't pay attention to that sort of stuff. So yes, it's always just delisting and relisting. If there's somebody watching an item and they haven't bought, they're probably not going to buy an item. That's just the reality of things, right? So the other thing that's great about Nifty too is all those watchers automatically get a 10% off offer 10 minutes after they watch it. So that actually generates a lot of sales for us. Blazer question: if tags were cut. Oh, and somebody asked too, who was it? It was JT. My next video will drop Wednesday. We thrifted 2 of the wealthiest counties in the entire country, including the wealthiest county in the entire country. So that video, I'm editing it now. That'll drop. My goal is to get that out on Wednesday, and that goal looks good. Blazer question: if tags were cut out of a blazer, a blazer you know has the quality and from a brand you're looking for, would you still buy it or it has to have the tags? I mean, it just depends on the blazer. I don't really, that's such like a broad question. I'm not really sure how to answer it. I look at every single item as its own sort of unique piece, and I have to make a buy or not decision. So I get, it would just depend on the blazer. I'm not really sure how else to answer that one. Maybe if you can be a little more specific, I could probably give you, like, if there was an actual example that you're thinking of, maybe I can help with that. Funny enough, I'm wearing helmets to hard hats workout cashier right now. Nice. Oh, workout cashier. What's a workout? Oh, workout shirt. Gotcha. I was like, I'm so confused. That's awesome that you're wearing one of those. Maybe like the offers to likers tab. I know you can give them % off. That's what I meant. Sorry. On all my platforms on Nifty sends out a 10% off offer after the person likes or watches the item. So obviously on eBay, it's a watch. On Poshmark and Mercari, it's a like. 10 minutes later, it sends a 10% off offer automatically on all the platforms. So we're talking a little bit about Nifty. It's built into the fabric of my business. It's like hardwired in. Like Nifty is the hub. I list everything on Nifty using their AI tools. It's doing all the automation constantly every day, and it's always up on my screen. Nifty is, yeah, it just runs my business essentially. So I'm going to drop a link right here if anybody wants to check it out. This invite link will give you a free trial for 7 days. You can check it out, see how it works for your business. You can import all your listings from all your different platforms. You can check out the automation tools and all that stuff. I dropped that link right there. Free trial, 7 days, no strings attached. And then if you do like it, you'll get 15% off your first month. So I just dropped that link down below in the chat. The link is always in the description of this live video, and it is always at chris@peak.com if you want to sign up today, tomorrow, whatever, for Nifty. Get that trial started, see how you like it. We're big fans. It's something like 95% of the people who sign up for the free trial through our link actually then decide that they want to pay for the product because they like it. Think about that. 95% is crazy high for a conversion rate from trial to buy. So that tells you like how good this product is for the people that give it a whirl. If you have any questions about Nifty, let me know down below in the chat. I'm sure we'll talk about it just because it runs my whole business. When I run a sale on Posh, I just increase the percentage off in my Nifty auto offer. You can run sales on Poshmark. Maybe I didn't know. I just didn't know that, I guess. So I'm learning from Flana today. I didn't know you can run sales. How are your sales? Awesome weekends. It started off, well, Friday was gangbusters. Saturday was a little slow. Yesterday was gangbusters. It was my best day of the month. Yesterday we ran out 19 sales for over $1,000. So just an awesome Sunday, especially like in the middle of, the dog days of July. I usually don't have just cranking days like that. It was good. Hope you had a good weekend too. Seeing a lot of fall stuff sell. I'm seeing a ton of fall stuff sell. Okay, cool. My thoughts as well. Just wanted your opinion. You got it. The buttons and blazer are high quality and good, but the brand tags for the blazer has been cut out. Gotcha. I mean, do you know what brand it is? I think it would be probably pretty difficult to sell a customer an item for a premium price if you don't know like what the brand is, right? Because they're not being, the customer on eBay, they can't pick up the jacket, right? They can't be like, oh, wow, this is like really nice tailoring. This is really good quality materials. They can't do that on eBay, right? If you had a shop, right? If you had like a vintage booth or something like that, a clothing booth in a little vintage mall or something, then somebody could like hold that jacket and be like, oh man, this is super quality. They can put it on, try it on. They'd be like, this feels great, and you could probably get a premium price for it. But without knowing the brand of a blazer, it's kind of tough to sell something on eBay, right? Because you're selling against, there's be like tens of thousands of different blazers that person could buy. And they could find somebody else's Brooks Brothers or somebody else's Canali, and they know that that's quality, right? Those brands kind of dictate quality, whereas your blazer, they're just looking at the pictures, and without knowing the brands, or the materials, right? How are you going to, through the screen, show this person that that's a quality item and create that buyer confidence, right, in your item? Again, it would be different if it's in person and they could feel like, man, this is really high quality tailoring. I just don't think it's the same on something like eBay or Poshmark. Obligatory Nifty is the best. I can't work without it now. There you go. And do you search on eBay sales when you get a need item that you don't know about, like the Carhartt? Yeah, just look it up on the eBay mobile app and look at recent sales and calculate the sell-through rate. Yeah. I've been working on adding shoes to game. I've had a little success so far. Sold a pair of Doc Martens and Merrells over the weekend. Nice, couple nice sales right there. I like it. It's not actually running a sale, just the closet equivalent to running an eBay sale. Hence the quotes. Okay, so you can't run a sale. I'm officially confused. What's up, Kibo? What you're saying probably makes a ton of sense. But as I'm rolling through the chat, I'm like, I'm just confused, and that's okay. I'm allowed to be confused. I wish I could find some of those. What are you talking about, Chemo? You always find the best stuff, brother. You'll probably send me a video later where you'll find 5 back-to-back ponchos, brother. I've learned to pass on most anything with the tags cut off. It hurts, but the best move. I mean, it'd be different, right? What if it was a Brooks Brothers blazer and it had the gold buttons and it had the gold button logo right on it, right? Then it's like, okay, it's Brooks Brothers, right? But I think otherwise that'd be probably difficult. We're beating a dead horse with that now. Next order is a blazer. Sold a bunch of blazers over the weekend. This is a new brand to me. It's the second time that I've actually sold this brand. I bought 4 of them all at one thrift store. J. Hilburn, I think they were $7 or $8 a piece. And just a nice modern color to this. J. Hilburn, and I believe, yeah, this is kind of weird. It is a Vitali Barberis Canonico, but see how that usually you don't have that patch inside the pocket. Isn't that strange? But the Vitali patch is inside. Isn't that interesting? I've never seen that before. But obviously a really awesome floral pattern, like a paisley pattern, I guess, on the liner, but the outside is a solid blue. Anyway, this sold for a best offer of $40 on this one. So I think I paid $8. You can see it's got little details like that, like a little contrast stitching on that loop right there. Anyway, new to me brand. This is the second one I've sold. I bought 4 of them total, so 2 out of the 4 have now sold. So new to me brand. We'll get this all packed up. One of the most common questions I get when we talk about suits and blazers is they're like, how do you fold it? I'm like, I just turn it inside out and then I fold it in thirds, but there's no perfect way to just fold. My advice to people is just fold the thing and get it in the bag. It's not like there's no way that you're going to get this to a customer without having some wrinkles and stuff on it. People sort of get that. You're going to order a blazer mail order, right? You're not going to be able to take it out of the package, throw it on. You're probably going to have to steam it, or you're going to have to take it to the dry cleaner. A lot of people are going to have to get them tailored anyway, right? They're going to have to, get the, even if it's the right size, right? They're like, man, the sleeve, I just need another ½ inch or something. They're probably going to have to get it tailored anyway. So everyone's so worried about how to fold it and bag. It doesn't matter. Just get it into a bag and get it out the door to your customer. But I do fold them inside out because I feel like if it's going to get damaged in transit, I would rather the inside get damaged than the outside, if that makes sense. So fold them inside out. That protects all the buttons and stuff are now on the inside instead of the outside. So, a button could break when it's in transit or whatever. That's probably the worst thing that's going to happen this way. But again, whatever way that you can get it into a bag, I wouldn't worry too much about how you're folding them. But I get that question all the time. Just fold her up, get it in the bag, get it out the door. Move on to the next one. That one is a size 40. That was a 48R on that one, if anybody cares. What level of sell-through rate do you look for when sourcing clothing? The answer to this is always depends. If I'm buying an item for $5, the average sale price is $50, but the sell-through rate is only 10%. I'm still going to pick up that item because I can price the item at $35. I paid $5. There's still good margin there, and I could be the next one to sell. It could literally sell the same day because I can price it below the rest of the market. So it just depends. So even a 10% sell-through rate item could be a great pick. It might be my best pickup of the week, and it could be 10%. So a lot of people get married to sell-through rate, and I don't think you should be married to sell-through rate. I think you should use sell-through rate as a guide, but it's only one piece of the metric. Your buy cost really matters. The average sale price matters. And can you price that item below the market and get a quick sale, even if it's low sell-through rate? So don't be married to sell-through rate. Just use it as a guide. It is not your boss. It is not your spouse. Polka King, heard you had a great weekend of sales. I did. Had 30 sales between Friday and Sunday. Not a bad weekend either. That's great, man. I love to hear that. Nick Smith is in the house selling some $200 dead stock Levi's last week. That's awesome. I got a $200 sale today going out the door too. And I'm not hiding it from you. It's just we haven't got it to it yet. But I got a 200 plus item going out the door. And I don't sell a lot of items for $200 plus, so I'm excited about that one. But I love, that's classic Nick Smith stuff right there, selling Levi's dead stock. I love it, man. That's awesome. After researching the gold buttons, had its branding image on it. It was a blazer with gold button. Brand starts with an L. Looking it up now. Nice. Looks like you're onto something. I like it. I think she is saying uses the send offers through the nifty option to send out bigger offers on Poshmark instead of 10%, maybe 20%. Got it. I think I got it. Thank you, Adam. Motivated Mama, what's up from Virginia? Welcome in. Good to have you in the live stream. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good weekend of sales. Hope you had a good weekend too. I sold a Nude Tag carb to sold a carbonate cobalt Nude Tag hoodie for $40, but cost was $8. Yeah, that's a great little flip. $8 and a 40. I like it. Nice sale. Raining. Yes, exactly. Because Posh doesn't have the same sale option as eBay. It doesn't advertise to everyone, only likers, but it's the best you can do in Posh. Got it. Yeah, I do all that stuff. All my offers run through Nifty. Nifty handles all that stuff to me. I haven't sent an offer in, I can't remember the last time I sent an offer. I've had Nifty for over 2 years, so it does all that stuff. Question for the technically challenged. Can you send offers for an item once an offer has already been sent? I can't find the option anywhere. No, you can send an offer to a watcher once. So you can't send them another offer to the buyer or to the potential buyer, if that makes sense. I've been watching your videos on blazers, unless they counter, and then you could send another counter offer. I've been watching your videos on blazers also. I have 3 Brooks Brothers 346 Madison Fit 42R, hasn't sold. It looks cool, but I'm sure it hasn't sold because of my title. Maybe what's your, drop your item title down below in the chat and we can pick it apart if you want to, give you some feedback on it. I sold a Brooks Brothers 346 this weekend. We'll get to shipping that sometime here. We'll get to that one. I like flipping those. 346 is their factory brand. And a lot of people, when I pick up Brooks Brothers 346, they're like, what are you doing? That's their factory brand. That doesn't sell for any money. Well, I do pretty good with them. I sold one, so we'll get to that one in a little bit. I think that was a Poshmark sale too. Was it? No, that was an eBay sale. What's up, good guy Flips? Welcome in. Good to have you. Y'all, if you have questions about stuff, just drop them down below in the chat. If there's something that's bugging you or something that's kind of jamming you up on eBay or Poshmark, drop it down below in the chat. If I don't have the answer for it, there's probably somebody in this live stream. We got 63 people here on YouTube and Facebook, another 6 people over on Instagram. There's a lot of smart people in this room. So if you have questions, just drop them down. And everybody wants to learn. Everyone wants to help too, right? Cost of goods is king, in my opinion. I don't even look up most items when in thrifts. If it's a brand I know and have sold prior, if it's $3 to $5 Nike, it's going to sell for good margins. Time is money too. I like it. Yeah, you're already in the store. Grab it. Get out of there. I like your style. $200 plus Nike sold in 2026. Nice. That's awesome. You've sold 200 units plus of Nike in 2026. That's a lot more than I have. You're doing a good job with that stuff. Just got my first retail arbitrage opportunity. Fanatics is clearancing jerseys, primarily youth, of players who have been traded. $7.99 lowest clearance price, but it's youth, so debating. Tough when players who have been traded and they're on a new team. Those can be tough sells because everybody will clearance out those jerseys, right? So you're in a market of a lot, everyone's deflating those prices because they know that player got traded. So you're kind of competing with all that, that stuff's just going to get clearanced out everywhere. Also, unless the player is one of those players that's an all-time player, like Peyton Manning, left the Colts and ended up on Denver. His Peyton Manning Colts jerseys are still going to be super valuable. Tom Brady finished his career in Tampa, but Tom Brady jerseys are going to be super valuable. LeBron James, what is he on, his 17th team right now? All 16 teams before that he's been on, it's LeBron James. He's an all-time kind of guy. So, I mean, obviously there's exceptions to that rule, but generally speaking, once a player has been traded, that market's got to tank pretty heavily, unless that person's just all-time, it's just, I just been going to my Goodwill on Dollar Day. I got almost 160 items listed. So 86 in about, I've sold 86 in about 3-month span. I'm going on my 4th month of selling. Thank you for all the advice. Nice. Sounds like you're doing great over there. I love it. Thank you. Appreciate the report. I love hearing how y'all are doing. So thanks for sharing that, Corey. Keep it going. Keep it going. You're onto something, I think. Thrift Bliss. Hey, Chris, Monday afternoon is my favorite day of the week to spend watching you. Aren't you sweet as pie? I appreciate that. It's really kind of you. I enjoy spending time with y'all too. I hope you know that. Be a lot less fun if I'm shipping out and I'm just talking to the ceiling, to the walls, all that. Kim would think I'm even crazier than she already thinks I am. But I did have a great weekend. Hope you had a great weekend too. What's up, Bud? First day of retirement. Now only reselling. Bud, that's awesome. Congrats on your retirement. Shoot, man. How many years have you been working? If you care to share, but what a win that is, right? That's got to feel great. First day of retirement. That's awesome. Congrats to you, my man. And wishing you the best it sounds like maybe cranking up the reselling. You got a little more time on your hands. I like it. Good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. Glad to be here. You're right on time. Good to have you. We only shipped out a couple things. I've definitely flapped my gums a lot though. We got some great sales going out the door, so don't go anywhere. Some really high ticket stuff that I'm really excited about. I made somebody laugh. Good afternoon, Mark. What's up? Always good to have you, Mark. Thanks for coming back for more. 100-degree day in St. Louis. Ooh, I'm not built for that. Have a great drifting weekend. Found a bunch of vintage blazers, vintage sweaters. Little disappointed, no blazers. Darn it. I love finding the blazers, but sounds like you got some good stuff over the weekend. That's awesome. 100 degrees. That ain't for me. What's your favorite area of the country that's been a great thrift source and high profit? I like going to Denver just for all the reasons. We lived in Denver for a couple of years. I started my reselling business in Denver. I love finding the types of things that I tend to find in Denver, kind of like those mountain hardware, Gore-Tex, Packlight, hiking pants stuff. I love that stuff. We've been climbing and hiking and skiing and backpacking and all that stuff for years. I love finding like that kind of stuff. That's how I got my business started. I love going to Denver and finding that crap. And I just like being in Denver and visiting old friends and getting up into the mountains and all that. So if I had to pick a place, but it's not just about the thrifting. It's also about, I just like getting out there. It's fun. I got to get back out there soon. It's been a little bit. Can you talk a little bit about how you keep track of your inventory and what you buy and sell them for, i.e. is there an app? I use Nifty, you probably heard me talk about Nifty. Nifty has built-in analytics. I'll just do like a really quick shared screen here. I'm going to show you a couple of different things that I use and that you could consider using. So I'll give you a couple of options here. The first is Nifty. I mean, it's built into Nifty with all these analytics. Let me share my screen real quick here. So this is what I've been talking about, Nifty right here. So this is my inventory screen. You can see the last item I listed was this pair of vintage Levi's 517 boot cut. I create the listing in Nifty, and it automatically pushes that listing out to these 4 platforms, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and whatnot. And this is how I can keep track of all my stuff. You can see right here, see that SKU number, G8? That's the bin in the garage that pair of Levi's went into. So Nifty will copy that SKU G8 right into eBay and right into Poshmark because those 2 platforms have SKU fields. Mercari and whatnot don't have a SKU field, but I can keep track of when items sell. When they go into the sold screen, you can see AA7 right there. So even if this item sold on Mercari or whatnot where there's not a SKU field, I know that this Polo Ralph Lauren t-shirt hoodie was in AA7, which is actually one of the boxes that's here in my office, right? So oops, I'm going to unshare the screen so I can show you this. I'm like a little peek and I'm covered up right now. Let's do, oops. How do I take this off? Stop. Okay. So like that is where that t-shirt hoodie was in AA7, and you can see right there. So my storage in the office is largely made up of these boxes right here that fit nicely on my shelves. But out in the garage, it's clear bins. And I'll show you one, like an example. Clear bin. I put everything in these. This one I'm not actually using for inventory. I used it to pull my orders today, so these are my Poshmark orders. But I'll just put a number like right here on the front of the bin. I don't have one in here that has a number on it, but you get the idea. This is a 66 quart Sterilite bin. I like the clear bins because it makes it really easy to find the items, especially because I have like 70 something bins in the garage. So that clearness makes it just a little bit faster when you're going out and pulling. Like this morning, I'm pulling 30 some odd sales out there. It's nice to have them little clear bins. I have all that stuff linked, by the way. I haven't dropped this link, but I'll drop it now. All the supplies that I use for reselling and ones that I recommend to other people are right there at that link that I dropped below in the chat. That link's also in the description of this video. It's always at chris@peak.com. So if you're fishing for stuff as you're building your reseller business out, consider going and shopping through those links right there. I'm going to share my screen again because I want to finish this thought. So you asked about like analytics and stuff. I can go to my analytics tab and you can see right here this order for this AFTCO. This is the last order that came in today, this eBay, on eBay, and it sold for $20.99. The shipping collected was $6.95. The fees I paid were $3.95, and it hasn't updated the shipping yet. I think I just have to hit, somebody's going to have to tell me. I don't use Nifty for the analytics, but if I refresh this, will it pull in that shipping label that I just printed out? Maybe. There's probably something I need to do. Somebody let me know. I don't use the Nifty analytics, but anyway, it'll track your shipping label and all that. And you can even put in your cost of goods when you list the item. I don't, and then it will give you your total profit for each item. Mine says $23.99 because it hasn't subtracted my cost of goods because I didn't put it in, and it hasn't subtracted the shipping label yet. There's probably a button I need to hit. Once the sales are shipped, select the rows and click refresh to pull in the numbers. Got it. Boom, refresh. It didn't pull in the shipping though. Let's try it on this one. I'm probably doing something wrong, but I don't use this. Didn't pull in the shipping. I printed out the label. Oh, Poshmark doesn't have shipping, so that one won't. Let's see if it does it on this one. Yeah, didn't pull it in. So I'm probably doing something wrong, but that's the analytics there. I also use a spreadsheet. So because I sell on Amazon, I also sell on my website, and I derive income from social media. I need something to can track all of my incomes. So for instance, here is my sales tracker right here. This is a spreadsheet. This is from this is Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheet, and you can see right here, like here are the sales that we're working on from today, and it tells you how many days it took to sell. Why that's there, and all that. So here's my sale price, shipping collected, all that. So I use this to track all my sales because I sell on platforms that are outside of what Nifty does, including my own website. So if you want to check out the spreadsheet, I'm going to drop the link to the spreadsheet, and I'm going to give you a discount code where you can get a spreadsheet for 10% off. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. It's on my recommended tools and supplies list, but I'll just make it easy for you. So here's a link to Jason Hayes's spreadsheet. He has 3 different versions. I use the top tier version, which is called the creator spreadsheet, because I need it. I need the tools like to track my creator income. But for most people, I recommend the second version, like the middle version, which is the premium. The one that's like the basic one is probably too basic for most sellers, especially if you're selling on multiple platforms. I would encourage everybody to get the premium. That one's $39, and you can get 10% off if you use the discount code at checkout. It's thanks, Chris. I'm going to drop that right here. Jason Hayes, in full disclosure, is a good friend of mine, and is the person who first got me into serious eBay reselling several years ago too. But I used to build my own spreadsheet, and then once he started selling and marketing this one, it's just so much better than the ones that I used to make, because he invested the time, because he's selling them, right? So he invested the time into building out just an awesome spreadsheet. So I buy his now because it would cost me way more than $40 of time for me to build out a really good spreadsheet that tracked all my stuff. Not to mention, his spreadsheet is just better than mine anyway. Even if I spent, if I spent 100 hours building a spreadsheet, it wouldn't be as good as his. So for me, I'm happy to give him $40, but you can get it for 10% off if you just use that discount code. Thanks, Chris. The link is down below in the chat too. But I don't recommend anything that I don't use every single day and that I don't love. And that spreadsheet has been running my business. I bought the 2024 one, the 2025 one, the 2026 one. I'll buy the 2027 one when it comes out later this year. I am all in on that spreadsheet. I love it. So a couple of little tools there that you could consider. A little bit of an aside, but I appreciate going back to the question. That was Marcy. So hopefully that helps. If you have any follow-up to that, let me know. I know there's probably a lot of information. Hey, Chris, what's up, Master? First show of yours I'm catching, just started in the last month. You have a set time you let an item sit in your store before you adjust price to move it. I don't, but I actually I have some friends, like Jason Hayes, for instance, has a really great strategy. If an item has been in his store for more than 60 days, I might get some of this wrong, but I think he does 15% off that item, right? And then anything that's over 90 days, he does 20% off. And then if it's over 6 months, he'll do I think 60% off or something like that. And that's kind of the way he runs it. I don't really have a great strategy. Sometimes I just run sales. Sometimes they'll go into Nifty and I'll lower the prices of 20 or 30 of my older items. I don't have a perfect strategy for it. I should. But that would be one example is consider discounting after 60, 90, days, 6 months, which would be 180. You get the idea. I kind of like that strategy. For me though, I don't really love discounting something after 60 days because clothing is, as you know, is very seasonal. So an item could be 60 days old, but I could have picked up a winter jacket in April or something like that. And, or in May, and the odds of that selling, before October are not super high. So 60 days feels a little soon to me just because of the seasonality of our business, but maybe it's 90 days, but find a rhythm that makes sense for you. Oh, thanks, Ed. Someone asked me to send an offer after the first one. I lower the price of the item, let them know, and then they never purchase the item. Great pair of. Gotcha. Yeah. When people say that to me, I don't change the price. I just tell them, sure, just send the offer. Because if I go and change the price, they don't buy. I got to remember to go and readjust the price, whatever. So I just tell them to just send an offer, lady. If you want it, this isn't hard. Hit the send offer button and type in a number, and we'll do it. Yeah, I hear you. I've also sold several items already except for Poshmark, not even an offer. Is there a trick to advice for Poshmark? Automation is key for Poshmark. So when I first started on Poshmark in 2021, it was kind of slow for me. I started cross-listing over there. I was like, it's kind of slow. And then someone's like, you really need a Posh bot or automation tools for Posh. So it can do all that sharing, sending all those offers constantly and all that. So I invested in that. And then my second and third months of Poshmark just really started taking off. So I really think that automation is super huge, particularly for Poshmark. I use Nifty for all my cross listing, all my automation. I do all my AI, my listing through their AI tool, analytics, all that stuff. So you could consider that or not. But that, for me, turning on automation made a big difference on Poshmark. If you had 4 pairs of the same pants new tags, would you put them as a lot or list them individually? It just sort of depends on the item. What's the sell-through rate of that item? What are the colors? Are they all the same? Either way could be the right answer. And some days, based on my mood, I might list them as a lot of 4, or I might sell them individually. If they're all the same size, same color, you can list them and just do quantity 4, right? So that the buyer can see that you have 4 of them and they can buy 2 or they can buy 3 or they can buy 1. And you just do 1 round of photos, 1 round of measurements, set your quantity to 4. And yeah, then the person could buy whatever quantity they want. And it's nice and easy because you don't have to create 4 separate listings. So there's no wrong answer to what you have there. Just figure out what you want to do. I'm feeling, if it's a really low sell-through rate item, you might consider bundling them, right? because that's going to help you get a better sell-through rate, because there's probably not somebody else selling 4 pairs of that exact same pair of pants, right? So then if somebody does want 4, you're probably the only one in the market with 4. I'm feeling the summer slowdown. Only one sale last week. Sorry to hear that, Candy. Hopefully things turn around this week. What's one thing that you're going to do today or this week to help you turn it around? Because nobody's going to turn it around for you, right? Like the eBay gods or the Poshmark gods aren't going to change things for you. So I'm going to ask you, what's one thing you're going to do this week to kind of turn things around for your business? And don't think about it in absolutes. Don't be like, well, I don't know. Like there's too many things. I'm too slow. What's one thing that you can do today? One thing that can help you chip away at that summer slowdown and start turning around the ship. So that's my question for you. And that's my question to anybody out there right now who's feeling summer slowdown is like, all right, cool. What you doing about it? Because no one's going to fix it for you. You got to go do something. Started reselling 1 year, getting ready for this day, taking a year, getting to 460 listings, slow and consistent. I like it, bud. I like what you're up to. Wishing you the best as you really get cranking now. And congrats again on the retirement. That's really exciting. I want to retire. My daughter lives in Castle Rock. Right on. I used to go to, I remember going to some garage sales in Castle Rock and doing pretty good. There's some wealth in that area. I felt your pain on the DC video, all those blazers you found that all had seen. I took home some of the blazers. I've actually already sold some of the blazers. I'm going to ship one of them out today. It was the suits that I had to put back. Every single one of the suits I had to put back. But yeah, I brought home some blazers and I've already sold some of them. But thank you. Hi, Chris. Just started Nifty and added Mercari to our eBay and Poshmark selling platform. No sales on Mercari so far. We sell mostly men's clothes and shoes. Do you think Mercari is worth it? It requires like 2 extra clicks to get items to be posted up to Mercari. So in terms of like how much total energy do I spend in a week getting stuff on a Mercari, it's probably like, I don't know, is it 5 minutes? Is it 4 minutes, right? It's not a lot of work. And if it gets me 8 or 10 sales a month and I'm putting in something like 3 or 4 extra minutes a week, I don't know. Is it worth it? I don't know. You'd have to decide, but I don't think it's a lot of extra work. I don't sell a lot on Mercari, if that's what you're asking. My question, which descriptive words have more value? The actual description wording, the drop-down items using Nifty, or added tags? The actual description wording, the drop-down items using Nifty, or added hashtags. I don't know. I think they're all valuable. So it sounds like you're using Nifty. Nifty should be jamming your item title full of keywords. It should be jamming your item description with keywords, and it should be adding like hashtags and all that stuff, right? So is one more valuable than the other? The title. That's going to be the most valuable, but they're all valuable because when you search for something on eBay, it's not just going through the item title. It's also it's also searching through your description and all those other stuff too. So they're all valuable. I'm looking for any edge I can get to sell items that other people are selling. They have the same exact item as me. I'm looking for any freaking edge I can get. So all of the above is good. What's up, Blue Collar? How are you, man? Long time no see. Long time no see. I don't think I've seen any of your content lately. It's either that you're not making content or the algorithm is punishing me or you or both. I'm not sure. What's going on, Howard? Thanks. What I meant was out of 168, I've sold 86 in 3 months. That's awesome. Sounds like you're doing great. I'm following you. Everything I have bought has been $1. I watch you look for good brands, but I don't have the $5 to $7 to spend on one piece now. To where you find a $1 stuff? No, I don't. So it sounds like you're in a great area where you can find stuff for $1. I probably haven't found anything for $1 in like $1 for something. I guess I'd have to find it at like a garage sale or something. We don't have prices that cheap around here. Hopefully you can start spinning some money through and getting some cash flow going so you can start picking up the $5 to $7 items too. I like it though. I like what you're up to. Has anyone ever had new tag Levi's removed from eBay? Yeah, a bunch of times. Had my removed saying patent violation in all my photos and listings language. I appealed and failed and eBay won't give me answers. So this is actually an issue eBay, and it all stems from there's some in the EU that tag Levi. Only they can, sell it in those European Union countries. I don't know exactly what countries there are. You could probably look this up. But there is a distributor that they're the ones that will flag items, like Vero them if they're available to sell in, say, England, and they have exclusive rights to sell new tag Levi's in England. So it's probably other city or other countries too. But again, just speaking broad brushstrokes. So that company is causing all of this stuff. The problem is, so what you used to be able to do with eBay's old international shipping program, I believe they called it the global shipping program is what it was called. You could opt certain items out of that program. And you could say, cool, I'm not going to have my new tag Levi's go through that program. Like you could just turn it off. So it's only available domestically. But then a couple of years ago, they launched now what is called their international shipping program. And it's similar to the old program with just a couple little updates to it. But you can't opt in or opt out certain numbers. You're either all in with all your listings or all out. So when you list new tag items, what eBay says they're supposed to do is they're supposed to not make items available in countries that you're not allowed to send those things to. So certain countries don't allow you to import certain things to those countries, right? So eBay is supposed to take care of that for you. They're supposed to opt you out automatically from countries that you're ineligible to sell those items. But for some reason, they don't do that with Levi's new tags, even though they know that stuff's not allowed to be sold in those countries. They're not removing them, obviously, because that company is then reporting those items being in violation of whatever agreement that they have to sell those new tags in those countries. So that's what it all stems from. I don't know how to fix it. One suggestion would be to just sell your new tag items on Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, other platforms, or not sell new tag at all, or opt totally out of the international shipping program, which would be another option. I don't know if that's your best option, but that would be an option. You could just take all of your stuff out of the program. But I mean, if you were selling hundreds of new tag Levi's, that might be the thing. If you got like 2 of them, maybe it's not worth it. My title says Brooks Brothers Madison Fit 346 Blazer Men 42R. So I don't think you're using all of your possible characters, are you? Let me just, how many characters is that? I don't really want to count them. Wish there was a way for me to, I guess if I use like the Google Docs, will it tell me how many characters? Blank document. I'm going to help you out here. I guess I'm just going to have to, can I copy and paste your comment? Maybe? I don't think it's going to let me. Won't let me copy and paste. I'm going to have to type this in. So, Brooks Brother. It's also Brooks Brothers. You might have typoed it in here, but it's Brooks Brothers, not Brooks Brother, just in case. But maybe you just did that in this chat. 346 Laser Men 42R. So how many? It should tell me how many characters this is, right? Of course, it's not gonna. Maybe if I do it into eBay, it'll tell me. eBay listing. It's gonna create a new listing. So what you just copied and pasted, or what you just said down there, you're using 46 of your 80 characters. So to me, you have another 34 characters that you can use that you could jam up with keywords. So, I mean, I would put the color in there. I could put the pattern. So if I don't know what color it is, but I'll just put in blue, plaid. And then I'm going to put some other keywords that I know maybe somebody doesn't look for blazer. Maybe they're looking for sport coat, right? So I can put sport coat in there. I can also put jacket in case they're searching for that. Different buyers are going to use different keywords for that. And I still have 6 more characters. So I can put in wool. Boom. So this is your Anna. I'm going to copy it down below. And I'll put it up on the screen. That's a better version of your item title right there. Everything I added is after the 42R. You gave me everything up to the 42R. So I just added blue, plaid, sport coat, jacket, wool. Again, I don't know what color it is. I don't know if it's wool or plaid or whatever, but you get the idea. Use all 80 characters. What I just copied and pasted is 79 of the 80 allowed characters. And that's the same for Poshmark. That's the same for Mercari, That's the same for Whatnot. I think it's the same for Depop too. I'm not sure. I haven't sold on that platform in a number of years, but there you go. I think that's a little bit of an upgrade for you. You're thinking about what might the person shopping for this item search for? They might search for blazer, but they might also search for for sport coat, or they might search for jacket too. So there's some other ways you can do it too, but I think what I gave you is a nice little upgrade. Hope that helps. Yeah, we have a dollar day here in Georgia. I usually pick up about 60 or 70 items. Nothing really expensive, but I did get an Armani 3-piece suit with tags. I sold it for 150. Nice. The challenge, I love your hustle. You're doing great. Sounds like you're doing an awesome job. The challenge with relying on the dollar day is I'm going to your stores, and people like me are going to your stores, and they're buying those items for $5 or $6, the best stuff, the high sell-through rate items, right? They're buying that stuff on Tuesday and Wednesday, and you're waiting for the Sunday dollar day, and you're only going to be able to get, you'll find some gems like that Armani, right? But for the most part, now you're only taking the stuff that like people have shopped for 6 days, So I think you're leaving some opportunity on the table to buy $5 or $6 items. Now I know this could be a budget thing, and you'll probably work it out as you get some cash flow going, right? But just stating the obvious here, like you're leaving some opportunity on the table. Maybe it's time to start going earlier in the week, and maybe you set aside a little bit of a budget. Maybe you can't buy 50 or 60 items that are $5 a piece, but maybe you can have a budget, and you're like, look, I can buy like 8 or 10 items today at the $5 or $6 cost, and kind of budget yourself a little bit, because that way, if you're buying better inventory, if you're buying higher sell-through rate inventory, it's got to sell faster, and that's going to improve your cash flow too. And it's going to give you more bank account next month to go buy more stuff and be more aggressive. So I'm not telling you go and spend all your money, on the full price day next week, but maybe allocate some of your budget to that so you can get some of those better items that are going to sell quicker for higher margins. And then your cash flow is going to start rolling downhill in a good way, right? And now you'll have more money to spend next month. Just throwing it out there. And I'm also throwing that, when I say this, Corey, I'm speaking directly to you, yes. But I'm also speaking to other people who might be using that same strategy, right? And they're missing out on the opportunity to really get cranking by getting some of the more valuable stuff that I would go into your store and grab at $5 or $6, sell those items for 35 or 40, oftentimes quickly. And you're kind of, by only going on dollar day, you're kind of missing out on some of that. So just throwing that out there. To sell new Levi's and new Nikes cause my new Nikes have been flagged. I've had to make different business policies for brands I can't sell international and have every country excluded. Can you actually do that? Can you actually exclude? Do you sell through the eBay's international program, or are you shipping directly, like to the customer? Are you shipping to Glendale Heights, Illinois, and having eBay ship it out? Or are you shipping like directly to Italy? Are you shipping directly to Mexico? Are you shipping directly to Australia? Because I don't think you can do what you're describing through the international shipping program, unless I'm wrong, which I've probably been wrong 7 times already today. But oh wow, what a difference! Yeah, I need to get better at my titles. Thank you so much. I will try it out. There you go. You can use ChatGPT to help you out too, and like let ChatGPT kind of teach you what some of these good titles are too. Something to consider also. All my item titles are written by Nifty. So all I do is I take the photos, I drop them into Nifty. Nifty writes the How about sound now? So strange that the so strange that it would knock out the sound because of the internet flicking. Like, why would that occur? Hey, thrifting with sunshine. I have no idea. So, do we have sound back now? I just turned some options on and off. I muted, unmuted. I switched the microphone, switched it back. Good to go. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. It looked like the internet just flickered. I don't know what you heard or what you didn't hear, but they've been working on they're putting fiber in. Some companies has been putting fiber in all around our area, like all around this part of town. They've been working on it for the last few weeks. They're really, really close to our house right now. So I'm guessing that they're just sort of like in there in the conduits messing with stuff, and it might flip our internet on and off, which is annoying because both of us work from home. But hopefully that means we can get fiber soon and we can have less of these internet issues. If you've been following me for a while, we've moved back to Asheville almost 4 years ago. October will be 4 years. And the internet has been a little bit of a journey. There's been some ups and downs with internet. So fiber would be sick. In the short term, it might be a little bit weird. Lost visual, regained with no sound. Now you're back in full. Okay, appreciate it. Sound is back. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. Thanks for bearing with me as we went through that. Just the joys of technology, right? It's great when it works. All right, what did I miss here? Chris, you're absolutely right. I don't get the high-end stuff. Most of the stuff sells for $10 to $12 profit. You're right. In a budget thing, I'm working on building it. Boom, we're on the same page. I'm glad that you received that well, too, because you're doing great stuff. I just feel like there's another tier that you could open up, maybe slowly, if you can build some of that budget. I like it. Levi's, thank you. My instinct was to update shipping to US only, so hopefully the rest of them are good. Yeah, I just don't know if that'll work if you're going through the international shipping program. I don't know if there's a way to do that. I think I'm all caught up here now. What did I get here? Chris, you can be enrolled in EIS, which still exclude, you can be enrolled in EIS and still exclude countries. So my business policies just have copies of my regular policies with all countries excluded because EIS is all in or all out. So the fact that you exclude countries, it'll actually do that through the international program too. Interesting. That's good to know. Thank you. I'll have to play with that. I hate playing with business policies. You just gave me a task that I really don't want to mess around with. I think I'll probably just avoid that and pretend it's not a problem for a while and move on with other stuff. It's just not the right way to do things, but I hate messing with all that stuff. Okay, let's ship some stuff out. How about we do that? You came here to see some sales. Gotcha. Thank you, MS. Thank you, Mr. Salt. I'll have to look into that. Next order, a pair of Travis Matthew shorts. Bought a whole bunch of these a long time ago. And a lot of them sold actually pretty quickly. Some of these I sold on Amazon. Some of these I sold eBay, Poshmark, whatever. A pair of Travis Matthew shorts. This is a brand that's come down in resale value. Brand new with the tags. And I cleaned these out for $23. It's actually pretty close to the used price for these, but it is a size 42. Just a big size, but I don't know. Sometimes when you buy retail arbitrage, it don't make sense. Some of the stuff sells really quickly and you get stuck with like a few of the SKUs that hang out. I think this is my last pair of these. Some sold fast, some sold slow. This one would be on the slow end, $23. I don't remember what I paid for these, to be honest with you, but it was a retail clearance pickup from a long time ago. Might have been 2 summers ago, to be honest with you. Lower the price, lower the price, lower the price. Now they're gone, $23. That was actually on a nifty best offer too. So another 10% off my price, which was $26. Thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted that y'all show up in my office every Monday, hang out, talk, share what's going on with your sales, with your business. I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate it. And I have a good time doing these lives. So thanks for being here. Close and reopen Anna. Chris, you're muted. I can't hear you. Same, but one day I just said, Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, I think we're good. Don't play with my emotions like that. 100% agreed on eBay business policies. What did I miss about EIS? Just sent something to Japan. Nothing. Don't worry about it. We were talking about new tags, Levi's. You're good. Your Japan sale is awesome. You're fine. You're chill. Next up is a bundle sale. It's a bundle of bundles, y'all. This is an interesting sale. So I listed 3 bundles of 2. This is a pair of Land's End 100% wool trousers, dress pants, slacks, whatever you want to call them. You can see one of them is like my favorite pattern there, Glen Plaid. The other one is it's like a micro houndstooth. Both the same size. Listed these as a bundle of 2. Same thing with these, Land's End, same size. Listed these as a bundle of 2. So I had 4 that were the same size. Rather than selling them as a bundle of all 4, I was like, maybe somebody will want to buy 2. So I kind of put similar ones together. These 2 are both like a heathered pattern. One's gray, one's tan. So I bundled those together. Well, the buyer came in and bought all 4 of them anyway, bundled them together. And on top of that, they came in and bought 2 pairs of 511 pants that I listed as a bundle. So 2 of them, same size, same model, same color and everything. Both navy blue. Is that true? No, one's navy blue, one is black, but same size, same model, 511 tactical. So they bought, it's kind of weird to get like a bundle of bundles. That's strange. But also dress pants with like pants. Not people out there don't wear dress pants to work and then they wear their tack ends, but it is kind of a strange bundle. Very different item. So anyway, 6 pairs of pants, all heading out to this one customer. I got to print out a, this is going to be over 5 pounds. So I'm going to have to print out an overweight label for this. I forgot to do this. So we'll do it right now. Can I share my screen and do this? I just don't want to show a customer's, it doesn't show their address. So I think we're good. So let me show you, I'll actually show you exactly how to do this in case you've never had to do it before. Here we are. Boom. Okay. So this is the sale. You can see the 3 bundles, 3 lots of 2 Land's End 511. But this is over 5 pounds. So the buyer is only paid for 5 pounds. So I'm going to go to here and I'm going to go to more shipping label options at the very bottom. And I'm going to go to upgrade shipping label, 10 pounds. Oh, wow, you can do up to 15 pounds now? That's cool. So it used to be you'd pay $4.50 per pound. So if it was 6 pounds, you'd pay an extra $4.50. It was 7 pounds, you'd pay $4.50 times 2. So you'd pay $9. All the way up to $4.50 times 5. If you, so like, what's that, like $22.50? If it was 10 pounds, you'd have to pay that much extra. Now, 5 to 10 pounds is only $5, and they opened up another tier. So for $10, I can ship up to 15 pounds. Luckily, this is only going to be 5 pounds, I think, or it's going to be 10 pounds, or probably like 8 pounds. Exactly 8 pounds on that. So we're going to buy that for $5. And then we're going to email that printed label, and it's going to generate that and send it right to my email. So I'll go grab it out of the email. So there we go. That's how you do that. That's an upgrade that Poshmark made for sure. It used to be really, really expensive to sell like 10-pound bundles, and you couldn't go above 10 pounds. So that's actually, I just noticed that it's really great that you can go up to 15 pounds now. I swear I printed out an overweight label just last week, like a couple days ago. And I swear the 15-pound option wasn't there, but it also wasn't, I wasn't trying to ship something 15 pounds. So maybe I just didn't look closely enough, but anyway, I'm going to get this shipping label. That's how you do that. So it's going to cost me an extra $5 to send that. All right. That's a huge upgrade, y'all. What y'all think about that? You like that? I like that. I just shipped a vacuum through Poshmark. I like their shipping tiers. Nice. How much did the vacuum weigh? I love those old Sears barn coats. when I find, but usually they are eaten alive by rodents in Michigan. Because people left them in the barn. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Just sold a pair of beat up old denim Sears blanket lined barn coat with corduroy collar overnight, $80 in Japan. I paid $7.50 at an estate sale. I also found a bunch of single stitch shirts. Nice. Look at you go. I love it. Thanks for sharing. Festive flipper. Sorry. How much should I discount very slightly damaged items? Had a lot of 3 Columbia fish gear shirts that 2 had slight picking of the fabric, sold them for $40. You'll just have to experiment with it. I try to be the lowest price in the market, and those items tend to sell fast because it's the lowest price in the market. So it's got to get a lot of clicks. It's got to get a lot of traffic to that item because people are looking for the best possible price. So I don't have like a rule of thumb. I just look at what the market is and I try to tuck right under the market, if that makes sense. There's not like a magical percentage that I use or something, if that makes sense. Happy Monday. Sorry I won those. I can never say the name of that brand, but that's fine. That's okay. I'm glad that you got them. They went to a good person, Dora. That's funny. I don't get too worked up about that kind of thing. You got a good deal on those, by the way, too. You got a good deal. That's a weird brand to say. I never find that brand, by the way. That was a good pickup. How much did you get those for? It wasn't much. All right, 6 pairs of pants, all going out to the same buyer. 2 511s, 4 Lands' End. By the way, those are brands that a lot of people say they don't pick up no more. And look, I don't pick up a lot of Lands' End, and I don't pick up a lot of 511 tactical, but there's certain pieces from those brands that I like to pick up. And those Lands' End pants, I feel like I just solicited those. Let's see how long those took out to go to. 22 days on those 4 pairs, and the 511 tactical pants were 83 days on that lot of 2 of those. And the model of the 511 is the TDU cargo pant. 511 items have a style number on the materials tag, like the care tag. There'll be a style number on those that you can just Google 511 and that style number. You can figure out like what the style name is. And that's where I got that TDU cargo pant. And the Lands' End pants, the reason I probably wouldn't have picked them up if it was just 1 pair, because the sell-through rate's not great on those Lands' End wool pants, but they were really good patterns, and there was 4 of them all the same size. So even with a low sell-through rate, I'm like, I can bundle them, and get a higher sell-through rate. So they sold in less than a month. 22 days is a good outcome for a very low sell-through rate item, right? Altogether sold for $120. I took an aggressive offer on it out the door that's a lot of inventory right there. 6 pieces out the door to 1 customer. So I like it. I probably made $80-something off that sale. Does that sound about right? No, I think I made like $60-something off that sale in terms of profit. Like $68 or something like that. So good sale right there. $17. Yeah, you can't argue with that price, Dora. Nice job. Then I got a couple later on for 22 each. Yep, great buy. Nice job. Nice job. Remind me if you're using Nifty AI. Yes, I do, and I'm happy to answer your question. Love Nifty. Next up is an order. Talk about fall stuff going out the door. Got an LL Bean here. LL Bean is like such a fall brand, right? I just think fall when I see LL Bean. This is a heavy flannel shirt. Weight, not pattern on this. So let's do this. All right, maybe we're back. I don't know. Do we have audio and visual? Two-part question. Let me know down below in the chat. I just switched over to my cell phone. We're back. Oh, gosh, what a pain. Thanks, y'all, for bearing with me. Yeah, I think the internet is like 100% out, so I just connected to my cell phone, and I lowered the resolution to 720. Hopefully that's enough. Let me just lower it. Maybe I'll lower it even a little bit more, just to make sure that we can still hold the stream with the lower bandwidth. Oh, it says it's 1080 video. Oh, I don't think it's going to let me change it full stream, midstream like this. I think I'm just going to have to stay at 1080 and hope that it holds it with the lower bandwidth. But yeah, all right, I guess we're back. Sorry if I missed anything. Thanks for bearing with me. Internet, as I was mentioning earlier, they're working on. I'm looking out my window because I can kind of see the workers out there working on. They're putting in fiber, so I'm guessing that they're messing with the existing cables and stuff. What has been your favorite out of town thrifting trip so far? Favorite one so far? My Denver trip for sure. For me, that was fun because I got to go back to like my old stomping ground. I went back to a thrift store that I used to go to all the time. So it was just like good vibes. Plus I just like going out there and visiting. We had a lot of fun on that trip too. Kim came along for that trip as well. So that was a really fun trip. That was probably my favorite one so far. I really enjoyed this DC trip too. It was a lot of driving and it was freaking hot and humid as all get out up there. And we didn't spend enough time. I would have liked to add another day so we could have had some more fun on that trip. It was just a real lot of driving and a real lot of filming and not a lot of like R&R, rest and relaxation time. But it was fun to have Kim along for that one with me too. She doesn't usually come along. So, but you live and you learn. I think next time we'll add another day to that trip too, and maybe not be so aggressive with the driving. Anyway, the aliens got Chris again. Yeah. The aliens seems to be a situation to be probed. I bet the fiber guy's just cut his own line. Yeah. Y'all are seeing a black screen. Yeah, we're past that. We have radio silence. You guys will survive. What's up? South Texas is in the house. Maybe the aliens wanted his coffee too. Perhaps so. Can you show how you photograph to show you are selling a lot of pants, shirts? I don't do lots because I don't know how to showcase it to the customer. Also, does the nifty AI recognize lots? Sometimes it recognizes it, sometimes it doesn't, but it's just simple. I just like change a couple words and we're good to go, or just add a lot of to into there if it doesn't catch it. As far as like how to do it, I do it in like a variety of different ways. I can show you the listing here. Let's just do a quick shared screen. So here are those three, the bundle of bundles here. So here's how I photographed this, these two pairs of pants. So the reason I did it this way is I really love to get across, especially on a pair of pants like this that's got like a really nice pattern. I want to get across the pattern. And I want it to be really clear on the cover photo that they're actually getting two pairs of pants. So that's my cover photo right there. And then I just do the two tags. I do the front. I did a really close up here of the two patterns so you can really see the patterns. Whoa, whoa, traditional fit, measurements, you get it. But there's different ways to do it. Let's do one other thing. I'm gonna go into eBay. And I'm just going to search for like lot of to dress pants. If you need ideas, you can see how other people are doing it too. So that person's got them laying side by side. This person's got top and bottom. This person's got a pile. So you can see different ways that people do it and just get an idea and say what's going to work with your photo setup. But there's a lot of different ways to do it. Look at that one. It's kind of nice. Like they're both like folded in half like this, and you can see like very clearly that there's two pairs. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways to do it, and I don't know that one way is right or one way is wrong. I think they're all right. That's kind of an interesting way right there too. I wouldn't recommend you. I would use the square mode. See how you can see the photo is cropped right here. So they could have, if they did this in square mode, they could have made the photo bigger and you could see it a little bit better. Same with this one, right? It's cropped on the top and bottom. So they're like just wasting a lot of space. Whereas this one, you can see that it's full frame, takes up the full frame. So take your photos in square mode, y'all. Yeah, see, these are cut. But there's a lot of different ways to do it. Those are a few different examples. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Looks good so far. I'm also in North Carolina in the Charlotte area. Is there a time you wait to list fall and winter items? I list everything year round all the time. So this LL Bean flannel, I'll tell you exactly when I listed it. It wasn't recently, I don't feel like. If I can find it. I listed it on February the 28th, which is definitely like end of the season for like winter stuff, the last day of February. So it took 149 days to sell. Probably priced a little bit high in the market on this one, but it did sell for full price, $28. So LL Bean, men's size, large, tall on this one, and a nice like blue pattern on that. So we'll get this one shipped out the door. Thanks for bearing with me, y'all, as we had some fun technical difficulties. We're now running through the cell phone internet right now, so hopefully this is streaming pretty smoothly. We'll just do the best with what we got. That's all you can do, right? Bribe the workers with your coffee. We need service, exactly. We need service. The internet's actually been, as of the last, I've got like a new internet thingy a while back. I don't want to mess with it too much, but I got like one of these systems where I have two of these. So one's on the other end of the house and one is in this end of the house. So one's where Kim works and one's where I work. And since I got this, the internet's been better. That's like an expensive little setup that I got right there. But also since we switched from AT&T over to Optimum, it has generally been better. There has been some hiccups, but once this fiber gets installed, I think it's AT&T fiber. As much as I hate giving AT&T any of my pennies, if it's fiber, I want it. But yes, bribing is probably not a bad idea. Do you have any long-term goals with reselling? A lot of my goals right now are sort of revolving around this big dream of being able to travel to thrift a whole lot more and be able to spend good chunks of time away from the house and seeing parts of the country, and also taking you along for the ride and showing you like where we're thrifting and where we're camping or what we're getting into, where we're eating and all that stuff. So that's really where my big goals are, right? Is to take this show on the road and take it further and be away for longer and all that stuff. So that's kind of, that's what we're working on right now. What's up, Mazda John? Been away for a bit, but when do you think any special fall roasts are coming? We'll launch the fall seasonal light roast in September. I don't know the exact date yet. Nobody knows the exact date yet, but it'll be sometime in September. We'll launch that fall light roast. It might be late August, but it's probably going to be early September would be my guess. But we're kind of more at the it's more at the whims of the roaster when they're ready to make that switch over. But soon enough. Right now we're in the middle of the summer light roast, which is delicious, by the way. Ever outsourced your photos? I've hired my nephew for a few hours at a time, and he took photos. I folded, skewed them, bagged them. Love to find somebody locally that I could pay. I think it's a great idea. Kim has helped me with it at times. She was laid off at one point in time in between jobs, and she had a contract job, so she helped with some. I think it's a great idea. What is that internet tool? It's called EERO, if you want to Google it. EERO. Speaking of square mode, I started listing with Nifty instead of eBay recently, and I noticed the preview where the pictures are smaller. Am I missing a setting? Speaking of square mode, I started listing with Nifty instead of eBay recently, and I noticed this preview where the pictures are smaller. I'm not sure. I noticed this preview where the pictures are smaller. Am I missing a setting? I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. Could you rephrase it maybe? What exactly is going on? What are you seeing? I'm just not really sure. My little town has had its water lines cut and repaired many times thanks to the fiber installers. You can have it. You can have it all up around Ashboro. Gotcha. Is that where you're at? Are you in Ashboro? Do you actually go into DC? If you're not familiar with what Circe is talking about, I got a ton of shit from people on my Washington, D.C. video, which the title of my YouTube video says, Thrifting the Wealthy D.C. Suburbs. And a lot of people are like giving me a hard time that I'm lying to my viewers and misleading them to think that I'm in D.C. And like the video that they're really mad about, we actually thrifted in Alexandria, which is the town next to D.C. So if anything was the suburbs of DC, the town that's literally on the other side of the Potomac River seems to me that would be the suburbs of DC, right? The literal next town over. We could see the Washington Monument from our hotel in Alexandria. Like you can see it, it's right there. It's literally the next town over. But people are really mad. Listen, I do these videos everywhere. Denver, Tampa, Roanoke, Charlotte, Atlanta. We go all over the place. Most of the time, we're not thrifting in the city. We're thrifting in the suburbs around these cities. And I say, today we're thrifting in Atlanta. And then I spend all my time thrifting in the suburbs. Actually, in Atlanta, I never even set foot in the city of Atlanta. I actually wasn't even close to Atlanta, really. It was pretty far away. Nobody said anything. Nobody, people get it. I was in the DC metro area. So the entirety of that video, I was in the DC metro area thrifting, just like the title said, thrifting wealthy DC suburbs. They're mad. You're not in DC. You are misrepresenting. You're lying to your viewers. Like, are you people all right? These people really don't understand what the word suburb, like you could Google the definition of this stuff. These comments were on YouTube, by the way. So it's like, well, Google owns YouTube. So if you have YouTube, you have Google, you can just Google this stuff. If you don't know what suburbs means, and if you don't understand the concept of a metropolitan area, this is all Googleable, y'all. People, for some reason, and I've done these videos we've published 17 travel to thrift videos and all these different cities all across the country. And I've never had anybody say like, you weren't actually in the city, because people understand like metro areas, right? And suburbs, like they get it. But for some reason, these DC people, they are not happy that I thrifted in the suburbs of DC. Typo, the pictures aren't big like they were in eBay. So your pictures are smaller? I'm still not really sure. So are your pictures smaller when you list on Nifty and they go to eBay? I'm not sure. I'm trying to help, but I just don't know. Hey, Chris, I wanted to ask how you take nice photos of lots of items. How you take nice photos of lots of items, like jeans, for instance. I wanted to ask how you take I just use my iPhone and I put it in square mode, and I have photo lights. Like lighting is really key. I have two of these lights. I've been using these lights I bought these in 2020. I've had these lights for 6 years. I've had to change one of the bulbs once. One of the bulbs is still actually working, and it is 6 years old, like the original bulb. Anyway, I have these linked in, but lighting is really huge. Most of you probably don't need a better camera. You probably just need to upgrade your lighting and you'll get much better photos. The white filler is on both sides of the picture. Shoot, did you photo the item in square mode? I'm just not sure. I don't have that issue. Yeah, you do not need to get any hate for that. It's funny. It's funny. This stuff doesn't upset me. When people are ridiculous, it doesn't bother me. I'm just like, well, that human is really like something's wired wrong with them. I don't take it personally, but it's kind of funny. You did get a rough time on the DMV, lived there before, could care less what it's called, Nova, DMV, Tyson's. Yeah, I don't know. Did people want me to refer to it as DMV? I would say that most people in the country don't know what DMV is. If I told somebody in Asheville that I was going to the DMV, they would think that I was going to like renew my license. Like people don't talk about the DC metro area in those terms. But if I said I'm going to DC, they'd be like, got it. So when I came home, or when before I went on the trip, I was telling, oh, hey, we're going to be away for the weekend. We're going to be up in DC. Like people get it. Oh, okay, cool. But if I said we were going to be up in DMV, or if I said even Nova, if I said we're going to Nova, like people would be like, what, where are you going? Like Chevy Nova? I'm talking to an international audience, right? I'm not talking just to people that live in Alexandria or somebody who lives in Falls Church. They're part of my audience, but I'm speaking to an international audience. If I say DMV, somebody in Australia has no clue what the heck I'm talking about. But if I say Washington, D.C., they're like, got it. I know what that is. And I understand what metropolitan areas mean. Suburbs have really good stuff. You're there to find good stuff, not to limit yourself to the main city. Exactly. I mean, I do thrift in the main cities, right? When I go to like Winston-Salem, I'm doing some thrifting physically in Winston-Salem, but some of the thrifting is outside the city limits, and people get it. They understand that. People drive over city limits all the time, and they still say like, I'm in, Winston. I actually don't even live in Asheville. I live 2 towns over from Asheville, but I'm speaking to an international audience. So I tell people that I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. If I said I'm in Fletcher, North Carolina, people outside of this area don't know the town of 8,000 people of Fletcher. So I say I'm in Asheville because I'm in the Asheville metro area. But there's actually a town in between us in Asheville. The town of Arden separates us. So, but technically it's really weird. The city limits actually extend from Asheville down Hendersonville Road and out Airport Road to the airport. So the airport is in Fletcher, but it's still in the Asheville city limits, the way they've like drawn the city limits map because of the airport, I guess. So technically I'm less than 10 minutes away from Asheville city limits, but really I'm 25 minutes from Asheville downtown, like Asheville proper. But people get it. If I said Fletcher, nobody would know what I was talking about. Next time you should come to Fredericksburg, Virginia. We have 6 to 7 Goodwills within a 10-mile radius. Come hit them all with me. That would be fun. Maybe I'll hit you up. I hear when you get the kind of hate in the comments, you've reached a really big YouTube channel status. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's right. Haha, by lots, I mean multiples. I think I missed something, Desiree. I'm sorry. Suburbs are better for thrifting anyway. Parking is a headache in DC proper. Yeah, like any city, right? Like you're just gonna, yeah. When I thrift in Charlotte, most of the thrifting I do is not in Charlotte. It's north of the city, in like the Lake Norman area. It's south of the city in like South Charlotte, but it's actually like not Charlotte at all. It's like different zip codes. I feel like I need to wipe this off. People just get worked up, you know what I mean? I feel like this might be, give that a little wipey wipe. People just like to complain about stuff. Like they just like, people will argue about anything. Like 3 pairs of jeans in the same size, same brand, and wanted to sell them together. Were you here a couple of minutes ago when we were just, I just walked through and I showed some examples of like how a bunch of people are doing it. You can probably check it out on the replay. I probably won't do it again. But yeah, I showed a whole bunch of example listings on eBay. I showed one of my listings of how I do it. But yeah, you can catch that if you rewind to that part. We just kind of did a walkthrough of that. Sorry, I was confused because I'm like, we just talked about that. So I thought you were asking about something different. I use my Google Pixel for pictures. I set it to full view 4:3. I think square mode is an Apple term, but there isn't a square mode in Nifty. I can't find it. So when I say square mode, I mean 1-to-1 mode. So you're taking your photos in 4:3, so they're going to be cut off because like we were just showing you, like the space on eBay for the photo is square. So if you're using 4x3 mode, that means it's wider than it is tall. So your top and bottom are going to get cut off. Take the photos in square mode, 1-to-1 modes, square, not 4-to-3, square, 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 like same size, square. 4 sides are all the same, same for Saluda. Yeah, if I said I was thrifting in Saluda, North Carolina, people would have no idea what I was talking about. I have thrifted once in Saluda. There was like this little thrift store that a buddy of mine told me to go to, and I didn't get anything. I never went back. But any thrift store you can go to on one day and it can be bad, or another day it can be good. But it was just a really small store, and anything that was valuable, they priced way up. So I was like, I don't think this is going to be a good source for me. I just received my top seller rating on eBay. Should I expect an uptick for sales, or is it just overrated? Congratulations. That's great. Do I think that you'll see an uptick of sales? Probably not. But it's potentially got to give a buyer confidence. It could potentially help you show up a little bit better in search results. Do I think that you'll feel the results of that? Probably not, but it's not going to hurt your business. I'll tell you that much. I just got here for a few minutes ago. I was going to ask last week, but I couldn't remember the question. I'll check out the replay later. No worries. Sorry. I just didn't want to jump into the whole thing again, but you could watch it on the replay. You get what I mean. You hit Charlotte, you hit the stores around Pineville. I've noticed Mint Hill and other higher income areas, which by default has you shopping near Quail Hollow. Yep. I know right where Quail Hollow is. Yeah, that's near Pineville and all that stuff. I'm not familiar Mint Hill. I'm not familiar with that term, but maybe I was close to that. I don't really know that area all that well. Just finished a bag of the Hooper's Creek coffee. I'll be back for more. Appreciate that, Design Muppet. Hope you enjoyed the bag. I'm ready to ship if you're ready to order. If you order during the live, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to ship it out right now. But let's ship out some. We are really moving slow today. We are all over the place. I blame the internet. Next up is a pair of, speaking about bundles, we're doing a lot of bundles today. A 2-pack of Visconti. This is the Visconti Umo. I don't know how to say that, but sometimes it's branded Visconti Black. Sometimes it's just Visconti. Anyway, really cool, like fun floral prints. 2 of them. This sold on Poshmark for a price. Swear they sold for a price. $49 for the bundle right here. Full asking price. $49. That's actually a really good sale price. Really good sale price. $49. I bought like 15 or maybe 20 of these shirts. They were Visconti, they were Cremo. Like one person, all the same size, donated like all these bright, colorful, crazy shirts. And I bought like 20 of them maybe. I left behind like 15 more. And because they were like not great patterns, or they had minor flaws or whatever. But somebody must have donated like 35 of them or something like that. It was crazy. I'm like, who has that many of this kind of style shirt? This is going to Alexandria. Hey, what do you know? It's going to DC. Can't make that up. Going to Alexandria, Virginia. Thank you for your order, Dan. Dan's not mad that I called it DC. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Happy Monday. We're shipping out Poshmark orders. I still have eBay orders to ship out too. I still have chris@peak.com orders. We're going over everything. So I paid $5 a piece for those shirts. Sold for $49. So Poshmark's going to keep a 20% fee. So they're basically going to keep $10. So that's going to leave me with $39. I paid $5 a piece, so $10 total. So that's going to leave me $29 profit on that order right there. For a brand that I think a lot of people pass up, I picked up that one because even though the sell-through rate isn't great on those shirts, I'm like, I can make a bunch of bundles of 2 and 3 and sell these. And they've been selling pretty well for me. That one for $49 for a bundle of 2. I like it. Next up is a great sale right here. This was a pickup from my DC video. Hugo Boss, and the wool maker on this one is one that I'm not familiar with. This is my first time buying and selling this wool maker, Guabello. And this is a Super 120 fabric, and it says woven in Italy right there. So nice in-style blue, very like thin lapel on this one. It's got the pick stitching. So very modern blazer right here, lightweight, men's size 40, 100% wool, and it's Italian wool. So I grabbed this for $9 in DC, and this sold for $46 on a best offer on Poshmark. $46. So 9 and a 46. So Poshmark is going to keep their 20% fee. So they're going to keep $9.20. We'll just call it $9. So that's going to pay me out that's going to pay me out $37, and I paid $9. So this is a $28 profit on this. And it was only listed for a couple of days because this just came home with me. It was listed for 3 days. So in the door, out the door, 3 days, 9 into 46, made $28 in profit. Doesn't mean I pick up every single Hugo Boss that I come across. Obviously, this one is a very modern Hugo Boss on modern tags. And it's also made with Italian wool, which is a nice +1 as well. That blue color, like blue blazers, especially blue plaid, sells really well for me. So out the door, had a lot of blazers this weekend sell, some high dollar stuff. We haven't even gotten to the best one yet. That was on eBay. I was up in DC, Annapolis area on Sunday, and I got to save from Virginia Beach to there is some of the worst toll roads in America. Oh man, talk about it's just busy up there. A lot of traffic, a lot of people, a lot of fancy cars and stuff on the road too, like really expensive cars. Saw a lot of that stuff. You can just feel the wealth. Yeah, Android phones don't have a 1-to-1 option like Apple does, only 4:3, which is full, or 16:9, which is wide. eBay seems to adjust for this, but Nifty doesn't. So I have to crop every Nifty photo. That's a bummer. Are you serious? Android phones don't have 1-to-1? I would lose my freaking mind. That's insane. It's also wild to me that people actually buy Androids still. Sorry, I don't know. I had an Android once. I thought it was a brick. Switched back to iPhone and was really happy. But they don't have 1-to-1 mode. I would lose my mind because all my social media posts, like my photo posts, are square mode because you have to do square mode for YouTube photo posts and for Instagram photo posts. It has to be square mode. So if I had a phone that didn't do square mode, I would lose my mind. I would freak the F out. I would just get rid of it. But I know people like their Androids. My best finds this week were a pair of Fear of God jeans, nice, and Holderness and Buoyant Fleece vest. Good finds, Desert. I like it. Thanks for sharing. I have an Android and it does 1-to-1. Oh, okay. I use an Android and it has 1-to-1. All these Android people coming out from under their rocks, out of the caves, all the Androids. So why doesn't yours have 1-to-1? That's crazy. Everyone else is saying that theirs does. My Samsung phones and tablets have 1-to-1. That's all I use. So I think maybe you got to look at that, JT. Correction. Google Pixel Pro doesn't have 1-to-1. Samsung phones have it. There you go. What size clear bags do you put the blazers in? I'm going to put the exact link to I don't know what the size is, but I have the exact bags I use for blazers and suits. It's in that list that I just linked in the chat. That recommended reseller supplies is also linked in the description of this video. It's always at chris@peak.com. But the exact ones I order are in there with the size and all that stuff. And it will say suits and blazers. I have a couple different sizes I order. So that list will say specifically what that size is. I love my Android. It has square mode. Look at all these people out of the caves. This is like, I didn't know that this many people on the planet still had Androids. There's this many people in the chat that have, I figured maybe 10 or 15 people had Androids, and there's like 10 or 15. There's more than that in this chat. I was wrong. I thought that there was only a few of y'all left. We'll be on vacation next week in Myrtle Beach. May need to sneak away and hit the Goodwill. I like it. A lot of golf there, a lot of like wealthy golf vacationers there, but I guess people probably don't really donate when they're vacationing, but a lot of people live there for their golf courses too that probably have some money and some nice golf polos, right? I have an Android and it does square mode. All these people out of the caves with their Androids, like Samsung phone. Yeah, everybody is upset about this. You got the wrong Android, JT, I guess. Android definitely does have to have had multiple Galaxy and square mode. Gotcha. Low. We defend our Androids. What's the defense? Down with Apple. Who are you crazy people? Apple easier for phone and laptop connectivity. Exactly. AirDrop is money for resellers. Yep. Wow, such a hater. I don't hate it. I just honestly, I didn't know that anybody. I thought that maybe 20, maybe 25 people still had Androids. I was just wrong. I'm not hating on it. I was just surprised. USA is like 50-50 Apple versus other phones. I don't think that's actually accurate. I think there's like 25 people with Androids and like a billion. It says in the US it's like 60-40 in the US. I thought it was like 99.9 to 0.01. I actually don't know anyone in my daily life that has it. Get out. Come on. You people are just making stuff up. We refuse to be captured by the corporate world. So Android's not corporate. Samsung's not corporate. I thought Samsung was a company based out of Japan. Samsung Android is the best. Samsung has an AirDrop type thing too. You people out of your cave. People out of your caves. This is crazy. There's like 20 of y'all. The whole population of Android users are in the chat right now. This is crazy. I'm impressed. I don't know what it is about this live that attracted all 20, maybe 25 Android users in the whole world. And they're all here in this live. This is incredible. This is truly incredible. Next order on Poshmark is another Banana Republic blazer. Posted about this one today. People comment all the time. They say that Banana Republic you picked up, it's Banana Republic Factory because it's got the 2 dots. Y'all, I know it's Banana Republic Factory. Trust me. And it's still sold. Best offer, $44 on this one right here. Very, very modern blazer. Is this half line? No. But anyway, look at this blazer. Nice like summer kind of pattern colorway. This one is a rayon polyester blend, which a lot of people would also say it's not wool, it's junk. People like these rayon poly blends. This one, polyester, rayon, and that's it. Polyester and rayon right there. So it's a super like lightweight, breathable fabric on this, and you can see it's got that like knit look to it. This is a size 38S, which is, again, people will tell me they don't pick up 38S because it doesn't sell. Well, this one sold in, I think it was 28 days, and it's factory, and it's not wool, and still sold for $44 on a best offer here. I have so many good blazers. How are you so picky on selling them? I don't know. How do I answer that? First, it has 3 dots. Oh, it has 3 dots. You're right. Not 2, and they don't sell. See? And then you have like people who are kind of new to the game, like Surf's Up, who's doing a nice job over there, honestly. He's really kind of growing his sales. I feel like at some point in time, he's going to be able to go full time if he keeps learning, you know. I'm glad he's here on the live. Surfs is one of those guys, man. You're going to see him. He's going to start picking up these Banana Republic blazers here pretty soon. You're going to see him posting about it. But it won't be until after I show him like 20 of them that sell and that sell fast. And then he'll tell me 19 times that they don't sell. And then like after the 20th time, he'll finally start going to buy them. But, you know, he's a slow learner and he's coming around to it. And I'm excited to watch him continue to grow as a reseller. it's been really fun to watch, you know. It's been really fun to watch. Banana Republic, $44. I paid $7. Sold in less than a month. I haven't paid the credit card bill yet. I'm making profit with the bank's money. Thank you, Navy Federal Credit Union. It's not easy to switch from Apple. That's how they get with your monopoly thing. Who's switching from Apple? I have so many good blazers. Talking about blazers, I need to ship one today. Nice. I got like 4 or 5 to ship today. It's been great. iPhone here, but I love that you got one going out the door. iPhone here, but all companies can make Android phones. It's an operating system, open source. Apple uses iOS only for their use. Thank you, Cool Unique Finds. That's the Monopoly thing I reference. Monopoly is a great game, Yeah. Whole like, do not pass go, do not collect $200. I think it's a great game. Next up is the sale of the day. I thought this was on eBay, but this is on Poshmark, y'all. Crazy sale right here. Crazy sale right here. Isaiah. I paid $10 for this blazer. Look at that nice check pattern. It's got the pick stitching. Very modern blazer right here. High-end brand, Isaiah. I paid $10 because it had the pants too. It was a 2-piece suit. Paid $10 at the thrift store. The pants were ruined. They had some stains on them. I threw the pants away and just sold the blazer. The blazer sold for a best offer $229. I think I had this listed for like $280. I got an offer for $200. I countered at $229, and they accepted. So awesome sale right there. I paid $10. Now, I wish those pants weren't ruined because this would have sold for a lot more money as a 2-piece suit, probably quicker too, but I'll take it. My total profit on this is going to be crazy. So after fees, eBay is going to pay me out $183, and I paid $10. So my profit on this is $173. That's awesome. I'm new to your channel. Absolutely love your travel thrift videos. But thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Welcome aboard. How long were you reselling part-time before you went full-time? I was reselling, like seriously reselling part-time for about 2.5 years before I went full-time. I went full-time in December of 2020. Yes, December 2020. So I've been full-time now for 5.5 years. It'll be 6 years in December. I used to only thrift on Saturdays, the occasional like midweek after work, but usually Saturday mornings I'd thrift, and I would list kind of like during the week, like after work or on lunch break or whatever. I worked mostly remote at that point in time, so I had a lot of flexibility. So out the door, great sale here. Definitely look out for that brand, Isaiah. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Isaiah? I don't know, but it's a brand to look for. My best advice to Android users would be to find the closest river and then see how many skips you can make with it. You probably get a lot of skips. You know, it's like kind of like having a flat rock. You probably get a lot of skips off that. Listen, y'all, I don't care what phone you use. I don't care. I'm not disparaging Androids. I'm just having fun with y'all. You'll use whatever you want to use. There's things I care about, and then there's things that I just do not care. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care if you like BVDs or Hanes. I don't care. You do your thing. Whatever works. Whatever works. Awesome sale there, by the way. What did I miss here? I guess y'all are talking back and forth. I like it. Do you pre-pack your blazers or hang them? I fold them and I put them out in a bin in the garage. Bradlow, not cool, not cool. I picked up a Joseph A. Bank blazer. Need to list it. It's so cool looking, and it's wool and silk blend. Nice. I like those wool and silk blends. Guessing you got a plaid one over there? I love the plaid ones. Thrifty. Wouldn't that be fun, though? As a former Android turned Apple, hated Apple, I can't go back. Android is for tinkers, it seems. What's a tinker? The debate is feeding the algorithm. Maybe so. Maybe so. I don't care what you use for a phone. Shoot, even if you don't have a phone, I don't care. It'd be strange. A pair of cool shorts, nothing crazy here. Women's size 8. These sold on a best offer, $17 out the door. Paid $5 for them. Not making a ton of profit there, but we sold them. They're gone. Pair of cool shorts. I definitely do better, generally speaking, with cool men's over cool women's. However, there's the cool Holly pants or the Holly 2 pants. That one actually sells really well for me. Usually a quick sale and usually like upper 20s on those. But otherwise, I'd say aside from that exception, generally speaking, I do much better with men's cool over women's. But there's certain models that will go. That Holly pant's a good one. But this is not that. It's just a pair of 5-inch inseam little hiking shorts. Have you been up to Boone lately? We got to meet up at some point. I was in Asheville for Billy Strings last year. I'm sure I'll be back next time he's there. I haven't been up to Boone in a little bit. It's been a couple of years actually since I've been up there. We're due for a trip up there. Especially I like it up there this time of year because we can, we got an extra 1,000 feet of elevation, and I don't like the summer heat. So we were actually just talking about this yesterday. Like, got to get up to Boone, beat the heat a little bit, and lose 5-6 degrees by going up that way. Did you enjoy the Billy Strings show? We had friends that went to, was it all 3 or all 4 shows? That's a lot of music for me. I could not do that. But how was the show? Did you enjoy it? I saw Billy Strings back in, Kim wasn't with me, but I saw him when he was just coming up at the Telluride Bluegrass Festival in 2018. He played, to give you an idea, like how small he was at the time, he played Thursday afternoon. So usually that's like more like local small time acts, up and coming acts play on Thursday. And then as the weekend rolls on, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Especially in the evening times, you have those like bigger marquee acts. He played to a very small afternoon crowd on Thursday at the Telluride Bluegrass Festival 2018. By the next year, when he did a tour, he came through Denver and Boulder. I was like, that guy was great. I would really want to see him. And we went to get tickets. The tickets sold out within minutes. So like within like less than a year's time, he went from playing on Thursday afternoon at the Telluride. He was like the 3rd or 4th act of the whole thing. And he went from that to like selling up places out in minutes that quickly. I mean, he blew up basically overnight. It was crazy. Our last Poshmark sale, and we're going to switch to eBay, is a pair of Viore ripstop joggers or ripstop pants right here. These ones are like pretty washed out. I probably overpriced them a little bit, but you can see how they're kind of, I don't know if you can see, they're like a little washed out. They've just lived their life a bit, so they just have some wear to them. I disclosed that in the listing. These sold for $25 on Poshmark, so I paid $5 at the thrift store out the door. So this is literally like straight down the middle. If you've been following me at all, like I often describe my business as I buy stuff for $5 and I sell it for $25. Very, very average stuff for me. So in this case, that $25 sale, Poshmark's going to keep 20% fees. That means they're going to pay me out $20. I paid $5, so I made $15 profit on this item. Very kind of typical. Of course, I sell stuff that sells for more. We sold some blazers that sold for a lot of money today, but this is pretty typical stuff. I built my business on just finding just normal stuff for $5, selling it for $25, and just doing a lot of volume. But as I'm doing that volume, I also run into higher end stuff too. I just throw it all in the cart and turn it all into money. Let's see. So I will be safe to pre-pack or fold my blazers for storage. So I will be safe to pre-pack or fold my blazers for storage. I think so. What do you mean by safe? Sure. Yeah. I guess what's your concern? Getting married in October, any blazer brand recommendations, thrift or purchase? Has to be pink. You serious? You're gonna wear a pink? You're gonna wear a pink suit? It's a judgment-free zone, Joe. That's awesome that you're gonna wear pink. So the the one suit that I want to buy, like my next suit, I don't really need a suit for anything. But for some reason, I want to buy a suit. I want to buy the Twillery Air suit is what I want to buy. So look that up, Twillery Air suit, because it's super, super thin, like breathable. It's super stretchy. And I think it's one of those ones, it might even be like you could wash it in the washing machine kind of thing. But for some reason, I'm interested in buying that suit, even though I don't need a suit. I have one. I don't need a second one. Yes, brown and gingham looking nice. I like it. 17 for cool shorts, bucks a buck. That's the bottom line. Yep. He's done 6 in Asheville. I think that was 1 of 6 when we went. Yeah, it was a lot of shows, whatever it was. The downtown was like slammed with all these, what do you call it? Billy Strings people. I didn't go downtown at all for when those shows were happening. But yeah, that was like, there was a lot of people from all over the country in town for that weekend or long weekend or whatever it was. I packaged my blazers and suits like I do most everything. I haven't had any issues. Nice. I really want to see Billy Strings at some point. Got to see Stephen Wilson Jr. a few months ago at a small venue. Highly recommend seeing him if you get a chance. Awesome. I'll keep my eyes out for that. I got to do a better job of like keeping my eye out on like who's coming through town to play music. We get some great acts here that come through Asheville. Like the Orange Peel is just kind of a legendary small venue downtown. I think people like coming, like I think bands like coming through Asheville and playing in the Asheville area. So I think we get good acts because of that, even though it's a smaller town. And I think a lot of times they'll be traveling through like a bigger place like Charlotte and they'll want to book like out here in Asheville in the mountains. But we get some good acts that come through here. We're really lucky. And we have a lot of good local acts too. Chris, I was going to order some more. It's Hooper's Creek. It's Hooper's Creek, but I'm with you. But I can't find it on your site. Is it out on my site? Hold on. Let me fix this for you. I'm just giving you a hard time, but it is Hooper's Creek. Hooper's Creek is the creek that runs right down past our house. That's why we named it that. It was also, we renamed that coffee after the hurricane rolled through because that creek also flooded a bunch of our neighbors. So we actually donate $1.50 of every bag of Hooper's Creek sold to our neighbors who are still recovering financially from the flood. They're back in their homes, but that's the story behind Hooper's Creek. Let me figure out what you're seeing over here. Let's see here. I just added a bag to my checkout or to my cart from the website. I'm going to go ahead and just give you a direct link. So this doesn't get lost in translation, but I'm going to drop it right there. So that'll take you right to the listing. And then from the drop-down menu, you can choose ground or whole bean. Sounds like you're looking for the ground. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're all good. What's in a new Goodwill was looking at their boutique rack full of American Eagle, Nike, Under Armour, found vintage Ralph Lauren, Small Oil, and a bunch of nice jeans, new with tags on the racks. It's funny how what they choose to put on the boutique rack. One of my local Goodwills never had a boutique rack before, and then they added one like a few months ago, and it's so bad that I don't even like look at it usually, but I did look at it the last time I was in there. It's right by the checkout. So I was like, I was waiting in line. I was like, I'll look through it. It's usually all junk. It's really bad stuff. And they had a pair, like it was actually like the only nice thing I think I've ever seen on that rack. It was a pair of Polo Ralph Lauren jeans, which I would have picked up for $6, but they had them marked for $15. But I'm happy to sell those for $27 to $30 all day. But I ain't got to spend $15 for them. It's the only nice thing I've ever seen on that rack. And it's funny. We're talking blazers. Cool. You're welcome. I'm not sure what you were seeing. If you can let me know, maybe there's an error somewhere that I didn't notice. But yeah, if there's something wrong, if you could let me know, that way I can fix it. That's hi, Chris. I forget what I did. I had even left some blazers in a van when I moved. I'm concerned there would be issues with them, but they were just fine. Gotcha. Hippies, yeah, for sure. I was just worried if the blazers got damaged. I don't know why. I heard it somewhere, but it seems like everyone is okay with it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. None of my blazers have been damaged in storage, if that's what you're asking. Chris, I started reselling 6 months ago and I've grown every month until this month. Inventory has increased by 200 units, but sales are flat. Thoughts? Summer slowdown. People are not shopping. They don't spend as much time shopping and spending their money on things and stuff this time of year. They're traveling. The kids are out of school. They're spending their money on experiences and that sort of thing. We're also at the end of the spring and summer buying season, so people tend to buy for the season that's coming. So they bought their shorts, their tank tops, their flip flops, their t-shirts, their golf polo shirts. They started buying those in March, April, May, June, right? So they're buying all that stuff. It's not like it just got hot last week, right? It's been warm in most of the country for months now. So when it gets warm or it's about to get warm, people buy that stuff, right? And then they don't need that stuff. They don't need to buy more of it as you get closer to the end of the season. And that's why right now, as we speak, this week, next week, the week after, all the stores, and some of them have already been doing clearances, but they're clearancing out all their leftover summer stuff now because they know that this is a slow time of year. People aren't shopping as much. People are done with the spring, summer stuff, and they need to make room for the fall and winter stuff, which is going to start selling now. So those are my thoughts. That's probably what you're running into. Sounds like you're doing a great job over there, growing every month. I like it. But, everybody I know is generally down in July from the spring. My best months are usually March, April, May, June. March, April, May, sometimes June, but usually it's March, April, May, the beginning of the spring and summer buying season. And then my next best months are September, October, November, the beginning of like the fall and winter buying cycle. Those tend to be my best 6 months of the year. The 3 in the spring and the 3 in the fall. And that's just the nature of, if you're going to be a clothing, which I'm assuming you're doing a lot of clothing. If you're a clothing reseller, you're going to have that seasonality probably too. My slowest month is usually February, even though it's still cold in February. Remember, people have been buying cold weather stuff since September, October, November, December, right? So if they're cold in February, they probably already bought a jacket, before that. It didn't just all of a sudden get cold in February. See what I mean? So even though it's still cold in February, people generally, at that point, I want to have all my like heavy jackets, priced down and out, because that's when all the retailers, January and February, they clearance out all their winter stuff. So that's just the seasonality of the business. It doesn't matter if you're selling on eBay or Poshmark or you have a storefront. You're probably going to see slower sales in the dog days of summer and the late days of winter, right? February. With wool, just be careful with moths. That's a good idea. No, my apologies. I just saw the picture of the whole bean and didn't think about clicking it for different options. No worries. You're good. You're good. You're good. My buddy, I tag with this weekend beat me to a pair of PRL jeans for 50 cents. Nice. Yeah. You didn't want the $15 ones at my thrift store? All right, let's ship out some eBay orders. eBay. Before we do eBay, Shane, I got your order. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Shane, if you got a bag of the Hooper's Creek ground, you can see I'm actually out right now. I shipped out all my ground, but that means you're just going to get our super fresh bag when it comes in. Our fresh roast is going to be on Thursday. So we do keep a tight little inventory here because we do want to have the freshest possible coffee. So I think that's probably what you just ordered based on our conversation. Yep, I see your order right here. Yeah. Is that okay? Can I ship that on Thursday? I guess it kind of has to be okay because I just don't have a bag to ship to you. I have the whole bean in stock. I actually have everything in stock, but I just don't have the Hooper's Creek ground right now. So let me know if that's okay. I could ship the ground light roast if you needed something now. I could also do the dark roast if you needed something now too. I know you like the Hooper's Creek, the medium, but just throwing those options out there if you wanted something sooner. I found a Marlboro. Thank you so much for your order too. I found a Marlboro sweatshirt from the 90s that you used to get when you used Marlboro points. Very good condition. Had over 30 offers on it on Depop. Sold this morning for $30. Gave $4.50 2 days. That's awesome. I love that. I love that. Appreciate the wise observation. I'm trying to be patient and consistent and trusting the process. Yep, you're probably doing great, but you're swimming upstream in July. I'm having a great July, but my July is also down from June. June was awesome. I'll give you some like real numbers from my dashboard here. So right now I'm trending 19.8% down from June in July. It's still a great month for me. It's a really good as far as July is concerned, but the bottom line is that I'm swimming upstream in July, and that's just the reality of things. August tends to be similar to July for me, and then September is where we start to really see things crank up. Basically, August 15th is a good checkpoint. I usually start seeing an uptick August 15th. September 1, I see another kind of uptick from there, and then by September 15th, it's full speed ahead. It's quarter 4. So those are some dates that I look for. It just kind of, it's like a throttle on a boat. You just kind of pushing it forward. As you get to August 15th, you just push it forward. And then by September 15th, you're all the way at full speed ahead. It just kind of ticks up there. That's generally what I see. And I think you'll probably see the same thing. That works for me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for being patient. Sorry to be out of that one. I don't like to run out. I like to almost run out every week, but you get the idea. I like to keep it fresh for folks. It gets roasted fresh every Thursday. So you'll get that fresh batch on Thursday. I can wait for more to come in. Appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Need an AVIT Halloween or New Year's Eve show in Asheville again. That would be a lot of fun. All right. I do have an order, a couple of orders off of chris@peak.com that came in over the weekend. So two orders going out to Teresa. So first up, Teresa got a Thrifting is My Cardio t-shirt. We still have a few of these left in stock in just a couple of sizes. So this one's going out the door to Teresa. And we got 2 of these Thrifting is My Cardio haul bags. So these are big old, I'm just going to see if I have one. I do have one opened up. So 2 of these Thrifting is My Cardio haul bags and the Thrifting is My Cardio t-shirt going out to Teresa. Thanks so much. I'm going to throw in the Chris at Peak sticker there for you, Teresa. Free of charge, since this is your first order with us. And I'm going to drop right now, if you want to check out our coffee or merch, I just dropped the direct link to our website right there for you if you want to check it out and get yourself something. A great way to support the channel, a great way to show your love for thrifting. Hopefully you get more cardio in than just the thrifting, but if that's all you get, that's all you get. So we'll get that packed up. Teresa also going to a separate address. I think one of these might be a gift. So a separate address, we got a Get a Real Job hoodie going out the door. So we've got very limited sizes left in this too. I'm not sure what sizes are left, but the website I think is accurate with that stuff. But so thank you, Teresa. I think one of these is going as a gift since they're going to 2 different addresses, but pretty cool. Thanks for supporting our small business over here. I'm going to show you that haul bag, by the way, too, just so you get an idea what this is. I got a bunch of shoes that I got to list in this one, but you can see big old bag right here. It's a 13-gallon bag. Right now I got I think there's 8 or 9 pairs of shoes in this bag right now, and I could definitely fit another 6 or maybe 8 or so more in there. So awesome little haul bag. I think one time I tested it and I was able to fit like 35 items, clothing items in it, right? Just mixed stuff, jeans, shirts, t-shirts, whatever. And just jammed it up with 35 items. So nice little haul bag. Carry your, go thrifting with it, go garage selling with it, or drag your packages to the thrift or to the post office. Thank you, Teresa. You got your thrifting and cardio stuff going out. With that free sticker. I'm actually putting a free sticker in both of those orders for the one that's a gift too. Yeah, my traffic on eBay is down like 9%, but my sales are down 46% from June. I will say that most of the new product listed is colder weather because I assume summer clothes would be slow moving. I think you made a good assumption there. Yeah, I think you're doing great, but you're swimming upstream. You're doing the best you can do, and you know that it's pretty normal to be down this time of year. There are some sellers who are probably crushing it. A lot of people are doing discounting this time of year, just like the box stores are doing, you know. It's also a great time for retail arbitrage right now because you'll see a lot of the big box stores that sell clothing. They are discounting, clearancing out their stuff. So it's a good time to do retail arbitrage. The challenge is oftentimes what you're finding right now is summertime stuff that's going to get clearanced out. And as we said, summertime stuff is slow to sell kind of this time of year. So it might be stuff that you buy now and end up hanging on to until next March. That being said, people buy golf polos, they buy shorts, you know, they buy summertime things still in the fall, but it just slows down. You get what I mean. So oftentimes when I'm buying retail arbitrage right now on clearance, I know that some of the stuff is going to sell now, some of it's going to sell in, you know, the fall and the winter, and then it will pick up again like March, April, and I'll sell a lot of the stuff then. So I don't mind investing, you know, for future profits, for future meals, for future rent. You know, I'm going to have to pay rent next March and April too. I don't mind investing some money now and selling it then. Wow, listed a vintage Russell hoodie during this live and already sold it full price, $95. You're welcome, man. I gave you good luck. Or maybe it was Desert Rain right below you that gave you good luck. That's awesome. Great sale, man. Congrats. Love that. Thanks for sharing. My everything on eBay is down right now. Ran a 4-day sale and moved some old stuff. I was just happy to see you gone this weekend. Yeah, it's that time of year, y'all. I know I had a really good weekend, and I did. I had a really good week of sales. That is true. And I'm also down about 20% in July from June. That's just the way it, you know, it's the reality of things. And I project for that. It's just like, you know, I like to use like the analogy. It's like if you have an ice cream truck, you know, you're probably going to be slower in December, right? And that's a, you know, an exaggerated example. Obviously, you know, people are buying clothing year round, and and people buy ice cream year round, but an ice cream truck in December, you know, it's going to be slow. Most businesses have some sort of seasonality built into it. So if you're going to sell clothing online, you're going to run into that too. Thrifting is my cardio. That's hilarious. Thanks, Queen. We've had fun. We've had fun selling those. People have enjoyed them. Thank you, Teresa. Got both of those orders going out to you. Teresa's up in the DC area, so not everybody in DC is crazy, but we definitely ran into some crazy people on the internet from DC. But there's some great people from DC, Northern Virginia area, and Teresa's one of them. So thanks for supporting our small business. If anybody does want to order coffee or merch from our website, if you do it during the live, we'll ship it out right here during the live with a big dose of gratitude for you. Let's move on to some eBay orders. How about it? In Arizona, we actually had an ice cream truck in December for a while one year. I get it, but they were probably slower in December, right? Probably do a little bit better in July with an ice cream truck than December. Maybe they're 20% down in December. I don't know. So Poshmark beat eBay this weekend by a substantial margin too, in part because we had some bundles go out the door. So that definitely helped our Poshmark numbers. Try to get these in order here. But to those of you who are out there who are like, I don't got time to cross list. I don't need to cross list. You know, it's a waste of time. Listen, we just shipped a ton of Poshmark. How many was it? 1, 2, 3. That one was a bundle of 6. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Bundle of 2 is 18. 18 units went out the door on Poshmark. just from 48 hours. That's just 2 days. The last time I shipped was Saturday right around noontime. So 48 hours of sales, and that's 18 items out the door. So 9 a day essentially averaged on Poshmark over the weekend. It's been so huge for our business. So far in 2026, Poshmark has given us 675 units sold, 104 already right here in July. I mean, what a difference, that could make for your business, especially during summer slowdown, to have a secondary platform, over 100 units sold. And maybe you have less inventory than me listed, sure. But what if that meant 52 items sold on Poshmark during a slow time of year? What if that meant an extra 18 sales for the month of July? Like, what would that mean for your business? I mean, cross-listing is so huge. You got a slow eBay weekend and a great Poshmark weekend. So instead of me being on here complaining about a slow eBay weekend, I'm celebrating a great Poshmark weekend because I have both of those platforms. One clicks, one doesn't. That's fine. And sometimes they both click, and that's really awesome. Our first order on eBay here is, we'll go in chronological order. So this is the first sale that went out the door Saturday afternoon. Pair of J. Crew Thompson pants. It's a pair of wool pants. I love picking these up. Banana Republic, J. Crew. I grabbed the wool pants. This one's got a little houndstooth pattern on it. And men's size 30 by 32. These sold for a nifty best offer, $28.79 on this one. I paid $5 at a thrift store. Nice little sale there. I like grabbing these. This is a J. Crew Thompson is the model, or the line, I should say, or the fit. I guess it's a fit. This is going up. Arlington, Texas. Watching from Germany. What's up, Germany? What's up, Germany? Whereabouts in Germany are you? A buddy of mine that just moved back to Asheville last summer. They lived in Stuttgart for 3 years out in Germany. So him and his wife, they moved back here to Asheville last summer. Good friends of mine. What's up, Roberto? Still beefing up with surplus finds? I don't know what you're asking about, man, but hope you're doing well. Be it nifty or people are crazy and do it individually, cross-listing men's clothing is a must, in my opinion. I agree 100%. Women's clothing too, 100%. Your recommendation for nifty automation, I went from 0 Poshmark to 20 orders now in a month. All that auto offers and auto shares. Huge. Automation is such a big deal for Poshmark. It's a big deal for all the platforms, but for Poshmark, it's the biggest deal. Automation just has more of an impact. I do not notice a Poshmark link or name. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you're asking about. Freaking love Asheville. I'm in Hendersonville twice a year. Nice. You were in Hendersonville Saturday. Went and ate at one of our favorite spots. We were down in Brevard for a hike, and then we were like, let's go over to Hendersonville. And we did. We had like a rooftop drink at a place called Shine. I don't know if you've ever been to that restaurant. We had a rooftop drink there, and then we went down to like the main bar and had dinner there. I had they have a ribeye sandwich that I love at that place. So that was our Saturday afternoon. A little hike, little Hendersonville, little Shine. It was good. It's a great place to be this time of year. Your Poshmark channel. Jesus, I do not notice. How can I help you, brother? What are you asking about? I'm sorry, I'm just not understanding. I'm getting nifty today. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. What's your advice? I'm ending my Flip account. Roberto, good news for you. Switching from Flip to nifty, I think is a strong decision for your business. But it's so easy to switch, and that's really good news for you. So what you're going to do is you could just click this link right here. I'm going to drop it right there. That's your free trial link. You can just click that link. You'll also get 15% off your first month if you decide to stay on board. So click that link, sign up, and then what you're going to do is you're going to connect your eBay, your Poshmark, your Mercari accounts, and then you're going to tell it to sync. So what Nifty is going to do is it's going to go to each of those 3 platforms. It's going to scan through all your listings. It's going to pull them all into Nifty, and then it's going to use AI to match up those listings based on the item title and keywords, and based on the photos, it's going to match them all up. So make sure you take that next step of going and you want to like approve all of those matches, right? And once you do that, you're all linked up. So it's beautiful. Like you don't have to recreate listings. You don't have to copy and paste links. Nifty is going to go in and find all your existing listings on all those platforms. It will probably find some mistakes that your former cross-lister made before too, and it will point those mistakes out to you, like items that are listed only on one platform and not the other two because they already sold, or just other, you'll find some of that stuff. So that's the beauty of switching to Nifty. If you've already been cross-listing using another platform like Flip, it's so easy to switch because of that, because they don't just, it's not what you tell Nifty is listed. It goes and finds it for you. It's a beautiful thing. I really like it. Good luck with your switch. I think it's going to be easier than you think. And I think your results are going to speak for themselves. Give it a few weeks, give it a month. You're going to see some results for sure, maybe even sooner. Oh, yeah, love Shine. Place is good. Place is good. Sometimes it can be a little more hit or miss than it used to. I feel like their operation was tighter a couple of years ago. Sometimes the service can be, I think they've gone through some staff and stuff, but when Shine hits, it hits good. It hit good on Saturday. We had a nice time. I just want to go check out your closet. Gotcha. Everything's linked at my website, chris@peak.com. The link is down below in the description of this video, but I'll also drop it right here. Everything's linked right there. Right, go to that site right there. You'll find everything. Anything you'll possibly need. Roberto is to pour yourself a celebratory drink for getting rid of. I ain't got to hate on Flip, but I do think that you're going to recognize it and upgrade. And I think the full user experience that you're going to have from Nifty is you're going to say, wow, this is the way it should work. This is the way I hoped it worked. I'm sorry, I wanted to find your Poshmark. Cool. Yep. Dropped your link. Yep. We dropped your link. Dropped your link. Cool. Thank you, Jesus. I think you meant, how does he find you on Poshmark? Got it. I dropped the link. I want to see your, okay. Nifty changed the game for me, made life so much easier, plus the analytics and the tracking. Yes, agreed. 100% on that stuff. Appreciate you sharing. I'm glad it's working out for you. I was hoping there would be a link to your Posh closet. Yeah, cool. We got it. Poshmark has an option to search by listings or by people. Select people, and you should be able to, yeah, it's all linked. We're linked. We found it. We got it. We're good. We're good. Thanks for checking out the Poshmark. Next up is an order for Christine. It's one of these Tommy Bahama hats right here. Actually, shipped one of these. We shipped one of these last Monday too. You can see I paid $4 for these, and a lot of them are multi-quantities too. So I have 8 of these or something. They've been selling slowly, but I don't care. Easy to list, easy to ship. They're all multi-quantity listings too. This was actually this was a clearance, like a retail clearance, summertime kind of clearance. I use an 8x6x6 box for most hats. If it's got a lower crown, sometimes I can fit them in an 8x6x4. But this is kind of more of a higher crown hat. It fits better in an 8x6x6. I don't want to cram it in there and have it be all smushed. So this Tommy Bahama hat sold for $17.99. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Well, I ship. We still got a good amount of orders left and some really good ones going out the door too. My eBay sales are more like summertime stuff this weekend, whereas Poshmark was kind of, I feel like more like fall, but I guess it's a mix of both. Did you make it all the way up to Maryland? I saw your Richmond video. I didn't go to Maryland. As you know, it is tricky getting around the DC metro, a lot of traffic and all that stuff. In my mind, I was like, maybe we can hit a thrift store in Maryland just to say that we did Maryland too. So far we've been to 7 states since December. on our Travel to Thrift series. So that would have made it 8 states if we made it to Maryland, but it wasn't in the cards. So much driving, 6.5 hours to get to Richmond. Then from Richmond up to, Dale City, where we started the following day. That was I feel like that was like an hour and a half or a 2-hour drive up to there. And then from there up into Alexandria, you get the idea. It was just a lot of driving. Then we went out to Winchester to stay our last night. And then we drove like Winchester down 81 all the way back through into Virginia. Anyway, it was a lot of driving. It's like 7 hours to get home from Winchester, I think, or 6.5. A lot of driving. How much did it sell for? $17.99 plus shipping. Do you buy a lot of clearance items? I do. Was Dale City your favorite? Probably the best. I mean, I probably made the most money from that store. Very clean store, very organized store, very like well lit. I mean, yeah, it's a great store. Was that my favorite? Probably. I think I did that. I think I made the most profit out of it. I usually like profit, so we'll say that. Here's a brand new tags, like retail clearance pickup right here. Bought a bunch of these hook shorts back in January and sold a pair right now. This is a men's size small. Retail on this is $65. This sold on a nifty best offer, $23.38. Great deal for the customer. Getting a pair of $65 shorts for $23 plus $6.95 shipping. This is going to Wimberley, Texas. Now, you just heard me rant about how, oftentimes the summertime stuff, shorts, golf polos, that stuff slows down this time of year because people have already bought all this stuff for the last few months. But it doesn't mean that it's going to totally dry up. I mean, I'm obviously still shipping that stuff. It's just not as busy as it was a couple of months ago. Just the reality of things. So don't think in absolutes, right? It's not like shorts and golf polos aren't going to sell anymore. No, it's just going to slow down a little bit, And that's just how it works. But we sold that pair of shorts. That's out the door. Next up is another brand new with tags. This one wasn't retail purchase. I actually picked this one up off Whatnot. One of my friends was doing like a clear out show of a whole bunch of new with tags, like retail clearance stuff that he bought. And he was selling them for like really like $5 and $10 on Whatnot. So I grabbed a few things, including this Travis Matthew brand new with tags golf polo right here. This sold super fast, $28.99. How long was this listed? I mean, I just got this shipment in the end of last week, I feel like. This took 3 days to sell, $28.99. Again, I got it really cheap. I think I paid $5 or $10 for it, brand new with tags, shipped to my front door, no sourcing necessary, and put it right back on the internet and sold it in 3 days. Can't beat that. So this is going to Candler, Arizona. They're going to be buying golf polos probably for a few more months. It is definitely still going to be warm in Candler. For a little bit here, right? So $28.99 on that one. 3 days to sell. Hard to beat that. And I priced that one really aggressively too because I got it for a good price. So hence the quick sale. I wanted a quick sale. I feel I had my first retail arbitrage success. Picked up a Polo Ralph Lauren white linen shirt. Paid $29 and comps are $89.99 plus shipping. Haven't sold yet, but lots of interest. Nice. Yeah, I grab those for $29 when I see them. Nice grab on that. Is that a red or a yellow tag on that? Next up is a brand new, talk about retail clearance. Brand new with tags, Levi's. This is a model I've never sold before. 578. So these are called the baggy fit. Modern, brand new, sold. This is a size 40 by 30. Sold for my full asking price, $44.99. Picked this up on clearance. I had 2 pairs of these, same exact size. So just changed the quantity, set the quantity to 2 and sold them both. This one was full price. I don't remember what the other one sold for, but $44.99. That's more than I charge for most new with tags Levi's. Typically men's Levi's new with tags I'm selling like 34 to 39.99. But because this is that like baggy fit, and it's a model 578 that's not super common, like not super saturated, I listed this one a little bit higher and got my 45 bucks. If it's a 505, which is a very common model, I would probably list that for $34.99. But 578, the baggy fit, I mean, y'all know that's the style right now, so that's why I listed it a little bit higher. So that's out the door. That's going to Utah. Pair of jeans, pair of Levi's. Next up, really good sale, fast sale. Brooks Brothers blazer. I picked this one up. I think this was at that Dale City location. Picked up this blazer. Where is it? Sold for $41.99. It's full asking price. This one's going to piss off surfs too, because this is Brooks Brothers factory store. $346 is their factory store line. I picked these up when they're modern. They have a nice pattern. This one's like a blue bird's eye. It's almost like a micro check, like bird's eye. $41.99. I paid $9 for this at the thrift up in Dale City. If you want to see that full video, it's linked right at, I'm going to drop you the link right now. Don't leave now, but I'm going to give you the link. It's also in the description of this video. If you want to go like subscribe and watch the video later, you can check it out right there. But I grabbed this one for $9, and it took 11 days on this one to sell. 11 days, full asking price, $41.99. A lot of blazers going out the door this weekend. I love it. Good margin on blazers. On that $42 sale price, I'll tell you exactly how much I made on this. Well, let's see what eBay paid me out. Give you the exact numbers. So after fees and after my shipping label cost, eBay's paying me out $32.11. I paid $9 for that blazer, so my profit there is going to be $23. And it sold in 11 days. I have not paid that credit card bill yet, but I already have profit in my bank account. You gotta love that. Using the bank's money to make money. This is going to Andrew in Garden City, New York. Do you ever hit up Marshalls or Ross for retail arbs? I do, not very often though. I did more when I was selling a lot more on Amazon, but I haven't been Amazon hunting much lately, so I don't hit those places very frequently. How was your success with those spots? I did well. I enjoyed thrifting up there. I had got some good stuff. Just breaking into reselling. Thank you for all you do for the community. Thank you, Dino. Appreciate all your positive vibes. What kind of stuff are you reselling over there? And how's it going? It was Marshall's Red Tag. Nice. Nice. I like the linen ones. Good pickup on that. I would grab that for whatever it's worth. Our next order on eBay is brand new with tags, but found at the thrift store. So new with tags, Polo Ralph Lauren. You can see it's got a nice little checky pattern right here. Men's size small on this. I took an offer of $40. I paid $5 at the thrift. Gotta love a new with tag thrift find for $5, right? So profit on this one after fees is going to be right around $25, $28, something like that. So pretty good. Size small doesn't do as well for most men's, and that's definitely true for Polo Ralph Lauren too. That took 76 days to sell. I was probably priced a little high in the market, but sometimes I can get it. Nice little plaid or nice little checky pattern. Graph paper edition, I like to call those. 76 days to sell, about $27, $28 in profit on that. $40 plus $6.95 shipping is what the buyer paid. Got a few orders left, y'all. All right, Just a quick little block there and move on. Thanks for stopping by, brother. Men's apparel. Nice, Dino. I like it. I like it. Next up on eBay is an order for Elvis. This is a men's size 2XL Bad Birdie golf polo. This went for $22.67. This was on a Nifty best offer. So my cross-lister Nifty automatically sends a 10% off offer 10 minutes after somebody watches an item on eBay. It also works with likes on Mercari and likes on Poshmark too. Sends that quick 10% off offer, try to close the deal. I don't want to let somebody off the hook that's interested in the item. Very kind of common strategy that's used throughout e-commerce. They often refer to it as an abandoned cart. So somebody was interested in an item and you want to do whatever you can to get that person back. And in e-commerce, they'll send you an email. They'll send you a push notification through an app, whatever it is. And because if you got somebody interested, you want to close that deal. And that's what Nifty does. You can set Nifty to do 15% off offers, 7% offers, whatever you want to do. I set mine to do 10%. It works for me and gets me regular, consistent sales. Every day we get extra sales from that, just that feature alone. It's just beautiful, especially in a very competitive environment. There's a lot of people selling that same Bad Birdie shirt. I want to get the deal. I don't want them to buy from you. And that's why I use Nifty quickly to get that offer out to somebody. I don't want to send it 6 hours later when I notice that I have a watcher finally. I don't want to wake up and realize somebody watched something at 2 a.m. and now I'm sending an offer 6 or 7 hours later. Nifty's sending that offer 10 minutes after they hit that watch button or hit that like button. We want to close the deal before somebody else does. And I closed that deal before you woke up. My Bad Birdie sold, yours didn't. And that's what it's all about. Under Armour, men's size 40 by 30 golf pants. This was a Nifty best offer, $19.79. These Under Armour golf pants are not sexy in terms of reseller, right? I usually list them around $21.99, $22.99, and accept offers. They usually sell right around $20. This one sold for $19.79 plus $6.95 shipping. Again, a very common item. I have a ton of competition on this, so I love that Nifty closed the door with that offer. This person watched the item. Then 10 minutes later, Nifty saw, hey, all right, you're not buying it full price. So now we're going to send them that 10% off offer, try to close that deal before they go on to somebody else's listing and buy it, or go on a Poshmark, or find a pair on Amazon. Close the frickin' deal. This one's going to Carlos in Killeen, Texas. Those Under Armour pants are not something I would pick up for $5 if I wasn't doing all the things to improve the sell-through rate. So if I didn't cross-list, and I didn't have automation tools and auto offers and all that stuff, I probably wouldn't pick up those Under Armour pants because it's a low sell-through rate item. So without all those like extra advantages that I get from automation tools and from cross-listing, so more people, I have a larger audience, I just don't think those Under Armour pants are probably worth it. That would be a pass for me. But it's a pickup because I can move them with all those extra tools that, I pay $70 a month and have all those extra tools that allow me to pick up a lot of kind of lower end stuff like that. And like this too, frankly, like AFTCO, most stuff from AFTCO is not really worth reselling, but the stuff that's more fishing gear specific, like that somebody's actually got to go wear fishing, like this long sleeve with a nice pattern right here. This sold on a best offer, $20.99 on eBay. This would be a borderline pickup because of the sell-through rate if I didn't have the advantages of cross-listing to multiple platforms and having those automation tools to help show up higher in search results and also to close deals with those auto offers. So it turns a lot of the mid and low sell-through rate items into profit for me, which would otherwise be things I'd have to leave behind in the thrift store or just have them sit around in my inventory forever and ever and ever. So out the door on this one. And that's our last sale for today. So that's going to conclude our show for today. I appreciate everybody hanging out. And thanks to everyone who hung out to the end. Remember, all these lives are available as replay. So as soon as I hit end, we'll hit end stream on this in just a few moments here. You'll be able to rewatch this on Facebook and on YouTube. On Instagram, you won't be able to rewatch, but you can on the other platforms. So If you're just jumping in now and you're like, oh crap, you just shipped out 30 some odd orders and I missed it all. You missed $1,000 sales day yesterday, sold 19 items on Sunday for over $1,000. You missed it, but that's all right. You can rewatch this whole thing on the replay. If you are watching the replay, let me know by writing SHIP, SHIP, down below in the chat on the replay. That way I know that you're watching. I get back to all the questions and comments that come through on the replay as well. So you can watch it as if it's live, and I will get back to you in the chat if you have questions or comments. But I appreciate everybody hanging out today. Happy Monday. Hope you find some great stuff this week. Watch out for it. I'm going to drop another YouTube video on Wednesday. It'll be the third and final video from our trip up to the DC metro area. And so this final video is a cool one. We went to two of the wealthiest counties in terms of its per household income. We went to the number 1 county in the country, whole country, and the number 4 county in the country. The two wealthiest counties in Virginia, and two of the top 4 in the entire country. So that's kind of fun. So you'll check that one out. I'm editing it right now and enjoying going through it, but I'll drop that on Wednesday for you. If you haven't watched the previous 2 videos, we did a DC video, dropped it last Wednesday, and the Wednesday before I dropped a Richmond, Virginia video. So check those out on YouTube if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time. I'll be live again next Monday. I'll show you everything that sells next weekend too. We'll go through the whole same rigmarole, but enjoyed spending some time with you today. Thanks for watching to the end. Adam, you were, I think, the first person to comment at the very beginning. Am I not wrong? Or am I not right? Or am I wrong? I think you were the first one in. So thanks for being the last one too, Desert. Always appreciate having you in the lives. We'll see you next time.